just a year to the national elections, and the political temperatures are rising, with parties and politicians already positioning themselves ahead of the polls. What is likely to shape the race? That and more in the conversations this morning. And of course, the cost of living remains a major issue here in the country. And we'll be taking a look at some of these issues, of course, facing consumers and of course, even the global energy market. Earlier this morning also, Kenya Power will be issuing a press release on matters to do with the grid and where we are in the country in regards to the power here in the country. And of course, this comes even as the cost of living remains a major concern for many households. And we'll be taking a look at this and more stories coming up in our news briefs here this morning. But I'm not alone in the studio. I'm with Victor, Vivian, and Mike. Good morning, lady and gentlemen.
Yes.
Victor, how are you?
You got it right.
Well, the studio has ladies.
Yeah, there are so many ladies around.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. But in this case, she's the only lady.
So, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and a very warm welcome to each and every one of you who is tuned in to the show this beautiful Tuesday morning, the 11th. It is a cold day outside, but not too cold. The weather is looking all right. And today there's a lot that we are going to be covering for you right here on the show. I am sure that Victor is going to be tackling the conversation on the broad-based meeting that is currently ongoing in Naivasha. What came out of yesterday, I'm sure he'll be getting into that, as we know that there will be a joint manifesto between UDA and ODM. I'll leave that to Victor, but today being a Tuesday, we talk matters health right here on the program. And our conversation today is a conversation that is not too common. We will be talking about prostate enlargement. What exactly is that? Just to let you know a bit about it, it is a non-cancerous increase in the size of the prostate gland, but how exactly does that happen? What are the risk factors for that? What are the signs and symptoms for that? And just what are the treatment options available for that as well? This will be a conversation that will be quite educating, I know for sure, as I will be joined by a urologist from the Alma Health Clinic. His name is Jackson Ngeshu, just to let us in on that. So be sure to stay with us right here on Good Morning Kenya. Victor, the broad-based dialogue, what are we expecting from that?
You've correctly put it. Do I really need to put much on it? Okay, so my guest will be Dr. Evelyn Ogendo, who is a political analyst. I'll also be joined by Daniel Juma Mondi, Africa Regional Peace Foundation, who is going to be here. And today is going to be all ladies packed. Yes. Ambassador Sarah Munyi, who is a leadership and governance expert, and finally Katrina Kate Mutis, who is political analyst and also aspiring politician rather. So the four will be here at exactly 7. Let's take a look at that and much more at exactly 7. Mike?
Let's talk about matters of education. When you talk about education, you know, it's seen as the greatest equalizer. But then again, when you look at girls who are abled differently, they continue to face barriers when it comes to enrollment, retention, and completion of education. So how do we empower these girls through education? That is a conversation I'll be having with Dr. Winnie Koko, who is the founder of Elimisha Binti Initiative. That is a conversation that will be coming to you at around 8 a.m. And later on, I'll be having yet another conversation, and now regards matters of substance abuse, because when you look at data from NACADA, it indicates that the substance use initiation age is within 13 to 15 years of age. So why is this age susceptible to substance use initiation? That is a conversation I'll be having with Joseph Odhiambo Odago, who is a substance professional. Both conversations will be coming to you live right here on Good Morning Kenya, right here on KBC Channel 1. So I implore you to be part of this live broadcast. Welcome to the program. My name is Mike Migwe. Trevor?
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen and lady. I hope that by now you've already known what's already in the bag. Victor.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
We are good.
Mike?
Oh, yes.
All right, perfect. And I think we should replace Alele Mtoto with the money. I think we're all here for the bag, and
Yeah,
it's
the
not
bag.
to do anything with Alele. All right, thank you so much. That part will be coming later on as they have pitched here. But we begin this morning with the briefs here and, of course, politics. And President William Ruto says that the broad-based government is firmly positioned to win the 2027 general election, saying the opposition has proven itself lacking in both strategy and unity. Speaking in Naivasha during a consultative forum with leaders within the broad-based arrangement, the head of state took a swipe at the opposition, describing them as a disjointed alternative with no clear vision for the country. He urged government-aligned allies to capitalize on the visible rifts within the opposition to sell their agenda and focus on delivering their promises to Kenyans. Here is Abdiaziz Hashim with the details.
Members of Parliament, governors, senators, cabinet secretaries and luminaries of the ruling United Democratic Alliance and the Orange Democratic Movement convened in Naivasha, Nakuru County for a retreat. It is here that President William Ruto and ODM leader Oburu Oginga took a swipe at the opposition.
The other side is in chaos. I don't have to say that. I don't have to explain.
And we are not shy about it. We want to make policies which will take us to Singapore.
The head of state has said the opposing leaders have no proven track record in enhancing development.
The alternative, I shudder because a group of people who have no plan, no agenda, is too dangerous for Kenya.
He said the government is positioned to win and should share its policies with Kenyans.
By God's grace, we must win the next election. Inshallah, we must win the next election. Not for your sake, for the sake of Kenya.
We'll catapult this great community of ours, of ODM and order to power next year in 2027.
The president further revealed that the broad-based government was not formed 2 years ago, but after the 2022 polls.
Because I knew and I realized it was my intention to bring the country together, I did engage the Honorable Raila Odinga immediately after the election.
Hii broad-based, Mheshimiwa Rais, imetusaidia sana, imeturahisishia kazi ya siasa na hata kazi ya kukusaidia kuendesha serikali ambayo unaongoza.
Because we want to know who is with us and who is not with us. If you are not with us, you are not with us. If you are with us, you are with us. And let's speak very, very frankly.
ODM leader Oburu Oginga, in his statement, said that the Orange Party is an equal partner in the broad-based arrangement and is not playing second fiddle to the ruling party as claimed by a section of leaders.
We deliberately and consciously decided that our country will not go to the dogs when some people went to the streets to try to change the government through the streets.
Meanwhile, a 10-member committee is set to be named to draft a joint manifesto and direct the political direction of the broad-based government ahead of the upcoming general elections. The announcement was made at the start of a 3-day strategy retreat bringing together broad-based government leaders led by President William Ruto and ODM leader Raila Odinga. Once inaugurated, the team is expected to come up with a unified coalition framework, which will, among others, detail the political structure. Take a look.
3 suspects were ushered into the dock at the Milimani's Magistrate Court in Nairobi in connection with the killing of mental psychiatrist.
Accordingly, we have agreed to establish a joint team comprising 5 members from each party to develop a common manifesto that we shall ultimately place before the Kenyan people in the 2027 general election. The Orange Democratic Party has nominated Mr. Isaac Wanuge, Ms. Mariam Abdullahi Mbaruk, Ms. Leonida Kerubo Omosa, Engineer Kare Oregonian, and Kare Orege, and Professor Bernard Mwok, with the ODM Executive Director serving as an ex-official member. Kenya Kwanza has nominated Mr. Emmanuel Nzai, Dr. Daniel Mwai, Mr. Bramwell Simiyu, Mr. Mohamed Hassan, and Dr. Cecilia Ngetich, with the UDA Executive Director serving as an ex-official member. Myself and Dr. Oburu will each nominate another 5 members from each political party and formation to a second joint team to prepare the coalition framework agreement, recommend the principles and governance structures that will guide our partnership, and propose the leadership arrangements necessary to take this coalition forward.
And then there will be a framework team which will now work on the coalition, which will include sharing of power. But, as we move on forward, those who thought that ODM was going to be swallowed, I tell them, oh.
Moving on, a police officer and 2 civilians linked to the murder of renowned mental psychiatrist Dr. Victoria Mutiso on 29th last month have been detained for 30 days to allow investigations. The trio, who were arraigned in court on Monday, bring to 6 the total number of suspects implicated in her killing. And as Ruth Wamboi reports, the court has ordered the suspects to be detained at separate police stations as officers conduct forensic analysis and record statement from witnesses, including her spouse, Professor David Ndete.
Three suspects were ushered into the dock at the Milimani's Magistrate Court in Nairobi in connection with the killing of mental psychiatrist Dr. Victoria Mutiso. The arraignment comes barely 72 hours after the Director of Public Prosecutions issued the green light for them to answer to the charges.
Touching the matter in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So
Investigating Officer Romano Odor informed the court preliminary investigation put Police Constable Elijah Kibelion Kimoy and 2 civilians, Daniel Mwangi Njoroge and Kevin Ngugi Kinuthia, at the scene of the crime.
One of the principal witnesses in the matter is the husband of the deceased, who has not yet recorded his statement due to the trauma that he underwent, and but last week he was still not in a fit state to record his statement, Your Honor. And if the respondents are released before he records his statement, they might intimidate or even compromise the quality and the completeness of evidence, Your Honor.
The court was also informed due to the complexity of the matter and public attention, they require 30 days to complete investigation into her death.
Your Honor, preliminary investigations have also established that there is a dispute involving land, LR number 1504/13. The same is currently before Machakos Law Court.
The prosecution informed the court some of the suspects, including serving police officers, are still at large, and CCTV footage and other firearms suspected to have been used in a killing were undergoing forensic analysis.
The threshold has been met for the said limitation. The complexity and sophistication of how this offense was committed, 30 days is reasonable.
Their arrest was through an intelligence-led investigation. These were not people who surrendered themselves, you know. It took state resources to trace them.
Trial Magistrate Paul Mutai, in allowing the 30 days, issued instructions on their remand.
First respondent, you will be detained at Ruaraka Police Station. Second respondent, you will be detained at Pangani Police Station. The third respondent, you will be detained at Kigiri Police Station. In the event investigations are concluded before expiry of 30 days, the state may present the respondents before this court for further directions.
Dr. Mutiso was fatally shot 12 days ago in Upper Hill, Kilimani, Nairobi County. The case is set for mentioning on 10 September 2026. After a fortnight of combing investigation by DCI detectives and handing the 3 prime suspects to the court, what the family and the whole country now is to say is whether the 3 will be charged with murder after the 1 month probe. Reporting from Milimani's Law Court, I'm Ruth Wamboy.
Thank you, Ruth Wamboy, for that wonderful story. And meanwhile, civil society groups are demanding urgent accountability and strict law enforcement to deal decisively with the rise of political gangs ahead of next year's poll. Led by the International Commission of Jurists, the rights body want security agencies to immediately clamp down on incitement and criminal networks and ensure all perpetrators of political violence face swift prosecution.
On Monday, the International Commission of Jurists Kenya section and the Center for Human Rights and Policy Studies convened for a national multi-stakeholder meeting to confront the growing threat of political goonism as the electioneering period beckons. The lobby group faulted security agencies and other relevant bodies for what they say is failing to fully enforce the law and deal with those sponsoring the goons and inciting violence.
If we begin to count from 2023 protests to 2024 protests, to 2025 and now 2026, we would have hoped as citizens that today we would have many more organizers, financiers, mobilizers behind bars.
They are warning the trend has mutated into a wider threat to the country's democracy, with organized gangs being used to intimidate voters, attack demonstrators, disrupt public forums and silence political dissent.
Because at the heart of this problem is impunity, is the protection that those who are responsible for financing and mobilizing these crimes are enjoying. And so our call to action is we want to break this chain of impunity.
Most importantly, the absence of state actors, the absence of accountability mechanisms in being central in providing solutions and being central in violence prevention mechanisms is a key gap here.
They are now calling for action against those who recruit, finance and deploy political gangs.
Where we have a problem, say, in one part of the country and we've had issues of who's are out there, then the commander at that respective area should be able to tell us what's going on. It's about accountability. So we're moving on from just issuing statements or just saying things to actual action that is oriented towards prosecution.
We continue to engage with the National Police Service to ensure that the kind of policing that we see, even during, whether it's during public management or during elections, is safe for the citizen.
Meanwhile, Transparency International Kenya is spearheading the operationalization of the Election Campaign Financing Regulations 2026, recently gazetted by the independent election body. They say this will help enhance accountability, clamp down on graft, and spells out contributions and spending limits in the upcoming polls.
So while building synergies with other relevant electoral management bodies, we call upon the IEBC to lead in enabling implementation and oversight to solidify this constitutional aspiration through the enforcement of the Election Campaign Financing Act and the attendant regulations.
We call upon IEBC to effectively coordinate with other oversight and law enforcement agencies to put in place measures for implementation and enforcement of the contributions and spending limits and ban the misuse of public resources.
Political drumbeats continued to reverberate on Monday, with the Linda Mwananchi faction led by Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna pledging to use the Constitution as its manifesto in governing the country. This comes as DCP leader Rigathi Gachagua pitched a tent in Nairakia and Kare Town for a Meet the People tour. As the opposition continued its charm offensive, a Kiambu-based lobby group is calling for the implementation of the National Dialogue Committee report ahead of the planned launch of the Vision 2060 tomorrow.
With 364 days left for the country's next poll, opposition leaders continue to traverse the country hunting for votes.
I am able to be the governor of Kitui County from August 10, 2027.
The Linda Mwananchi faction was in Kitui for the launch of Senator Enoch Wambua's race for the governor. It is here that the leaders pledged to use the Constitution as their manifesto in driving change in the country.
Ile manifesto ambayo watu wanataka ya serikali iko tayari ndani ya katiba yetu. Ukiangalia preamble ya katiba yetu inatuambia Wakenya baada ya kuumia miaka mingi chini ya udikteta walikuwa wanataka mambo 6 muhimu. Ya kwanza ni demokrasia, ya pili ni uhuru wa wananchi, ya tatu ni haki za kibinadamu, ya 4 ni ile wanaita utawala wa sheria, ya 5 wanasema social justice, ili tuweze kuhakikisha kwamba wale watu ambao wamekuwa wakikandamizwa muda huu wote pia wanapewa nafasi.
At the same time, DCP leader Rigathi Gachagua was on a Meet the People tour in Nairakia in Kare Town in Narok County.
Mimi nataka niambie polisi, wale ambao mnaua watu, mwaka ujao nikiwa rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, mtakamatwa na mtaenda kotini. Na mimi niambie wewe Mohamed Amin, wewe tutakuchunguza next year.
Meanwhile, in Kiambu County, a lobby group has called for the implementation of the National Dialogue Committee report ahead of the launch of Vision 2060. They argue this will ease political tension and promote stability.
Kama tunavyojua, hii NADCO report ilileta upande ya serikali na upande ya upinzani kukua kitu kimoja, na wakaweza kujadiliana namna ambavyo shida ambazo ziko katika serikali na zinazoumiza Wakenya zinaweza kupunguzwa.
Watuletee hii NADCO report wa implement, kama sivyo Kalonzo na Ishungwa walitumia pesa za serikali, pesa nyingi sana, na kama hasa wameanza kupanda kwa gari kusema ni nani atakuwa president, ni nani atafanya nini, hiyo mambo hatutaki.
Elsewhere, Wiper Patriotic Front leader Kalonzo Musyoka has emphasized the need for urgent reform that the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission. Kalonzo is expressing concern over the use of the Smartmatic system, whose contract expired, and warning against any attempts to reintroduce it under a different name.
I think you need to make noise. Before you talk of Vision 2060, Bwana Ruto, tupatie high ground force. Because that is where we shall irrigate all the land up to Tana River and Garissa. Let us call him out in a nice way. Mukionyesha msimamo, mutaletua dhuluma pia. Because the country has also given the clergy huko msirudi tena. Misri tumetoka, tunaelekea Canaan.
He was speaking in Kitui after attending prayers organized by the Kenya Clergy Alliance in conjunction with the Kitui County Clergy Leadership.
Away from politics now and to business, and family-owned businesses should begin succession planning early to safeguard wealth and ensure enterprises survive across generations. Experts warn that many family businesses focus on corporate governance and professionalizing their operations while overlooking governance, which can determine whether a business successfully transitions from one generation to another. Only 3 in 10 family businesses make it to the second generation, while just 1 in 10 survives to the third generation. To ensure continuity, family businesses are being urged to strengthen succession planning, governance, and intergenerational wealth transfer.
We're taking successful businesses, large corporate family businesses, and trying to give them a chance to survive going to the second generation and the third generation. It's so hard to do that. Only 3 in 10 family businesses pass the baton to the second generation.
Firstly, is to see this program sustained over the years. And secondly, it would be nice to see these families prosper and pass on successfully their businesses to the next generation.
They note that succession planning should not just be limited to determining who inherits shares or assets, but also involve mentoring and preparing the next generation, as well as establishing structures that minimize conflict.
It is important for families to have these conversations early on, when the family has good relationships, when the business is doing well, and when things are progressing in a good manner.
They need to focus on is professionalization. It is corporate governance. So there's a leaning more towards the business, but they are not working towards what we know in theory is fundamental to family businesses. Yeah, in theory, we call it socio-emotional wealth. That is where the real issues are.
Family-owned businesses are being encouraged to identify the specific challenges affecting their enterprises and develop measures to address to ensure their enterprises operate perpetually. And to sports now, Kenya finished second overall at the 2026 World Athletics Under-20 Championships in Eugene, Oregon, after an impressive medal haul that saw the country emerge as Africa's top-performing nation. At the same time, Nairobi has formally submitted its bid to host the Senior World Athletics Championships in 2029.
Team Kenya amassed a total of 11 medals, 4 gold, 3 silver and 4 bronze medals, finishing behind host the United States, who topped the standings with 24 medals. Kenya's strong performance was driven largely by its distance runners, with gold medals coming from Franklin Kibet, Emmanuel Kiprono, Wilson Chepkwech and Josephine Sebenyo Mancha. The 4 golds alongside 3 silver and 4 bronze medals secured Kenya's second place ahead of Italy, who finished third with 5 medals.
Training ile makojes hapo kambi Kasarani wametupigisha. Imekuwa mzuri sana. Na mpaka naona mwili yangu ilikuwa mzuri. Nimekimbia nikaona si mbaya.
Joto tu ni joto sana kulinganisha na Kenya. Lakini mimi nimejaribu kwa siku ya leo. Mimi nashukuru kabisa nimejaribu, nimeng'ang'ana yangu yote, nimejaribu kabisa.
I wish one day nikutane na Phil kwa race nikimbie na yeye. Ni Phil Kenyatta anafilega. Yeah. Kama inawezekana naweza mshinda ni sawa, akinishinda atakuwa amenipia motivation. Challenge kutoka 600. Kila mtu akang'ang'ana juu, kila mmoja alikuwa anataka kunywa race.
It's not easy for the kama World Under-20 na uende na silver. Area nikamesumbua kidogo, lakini nikaenda mpaka mahali nikasema mpaka ni ng'ang'ane hii nipate medal. So nimepeleka medal West Pokot.
Meanwhile, Nairobi has officially submitted its formal application to host the first ever Senior World Athletics Championship on African soil in 2029 with a robust government-backed bid. Kenya successfully hosted the 2007 World Cross Country Championship in Mombasa, the World Under-18 and Under-20 Athletics Championships in 2017 and 2021 in Nairobi, as well as gold label events Kip Keino and Sirikwa Classics.
Thank you so much. And on that sporty note, just to give you a reminder that the WAFCON is ongoing here at KBC, and we are airing WAFCON as our slogan indicates, WAFCON equal KBC. And just to give you a reminder of the matches that are still upcoming, tomorrow, 8 p.m., we'll have Algeria versus Malawi. That's 8 p.m. tomorrow. And then we'll have Morocco and Cameroon coming up at 11 p.m. So WAFCON equal KBC. Thank you so much for that. Now, just to give you a reminder as we wind up, that in life you'll face many defeats, but you must not be defeated. You keep showing up and keep going. My name is Trevor Ngendo. Thank you so much for your valued company during this morning brief session. Victor and Vivian and Mike will be coming up in the following hours to give you more details and, of course, with more conversations. It's been a pleasure. Have a good day ahead.
Pindi tunapowasha vifaa vyetu, tunapata fursa ya kutangamana na wasikilizaji wetu.
Karibu sana thĩinĩ wa tabarĩra ya Rwiga.
Tunapeperusha utangazaji uliobobea katika habari,
nĩ ũndũ wa macio na mangĩ maingĩ,
burudani,
haha nĩ harĩa tũkoragwo tũkĩigua nyĩmbo mwaki nyĩmbo hot,
na hamasisho la kiroho. Usiachwe nyuma. Jiunge nasi kwa safari ya kufana katika 99.5 FM. Shoro FM.
Ni kila Ijumaa kutokea saa 1:30 mpaka saa 4 kamili. Inakuwa ni burudani kiukamilifu ya Afrika Mashariki.
Tunakupatia umbea kwa segment inaitwa The Big Story. Tunachanua what's happening in social media, msanii amefanya nini na nani.
Kando na mziki mzuri wa Afrika Mashariki, The Big Story pia anawaletea mastaa tofauti ndani ya studio kutoka Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, yani ukanda mzima wa Afrika Mashariki.
Nakumbuka pia unaweza interact na sisi kwenye mitandao, yani social media platforms, that is Facebook, Instagram, X na hashtag ni ile tu, #WaMasharikiLive.
Tunakupa mix kali kutoka kwa DJ Kuch, muziki ya kizazi kipya iliyotamba inazidi kutamba na ambayo tunaitambaliza zaidi.
Exactly, and as always msisahau lazima tuwapatie burudani yenye vitamin extra.
All right, thank you so much for staying with us. Welcome back to the program. It's now time for us to get to the politics of the day. It's now 4 minutes past 7 a.m. And allow me to get you through the front page of the local dailies before I get into the real discussion. Let me start with the front page of the Star newspaper. Before I get to that, let me introduce my guests. I think it's just in order. All right, so, okay. So today is quite different. I have ladies on set and one gentleman. Daniel, good to see you.
Good morning.
I have broken the protocol. Instead of ladies first, I've broken the protocol. Man first.
I'm overpowered by today. The lady.
You will handle them, I know. You will handle them. Okay. Let me start with Ambassador Sarah Munyi, who is the leadership and governance expert. She's also the incoming senator of
Kirinyaga County.
Kirinyaga.
The most beautiful county, 020.
Kirinyaga is.
The most beautiful
Why
county.
did you say the most beautiful county?
Because it is the gateway to Mount Kenya.
Hello.
You have not seen Mount Kenya from
Have you gone to
Kirinyaga.
Homa Bay?
You should.
Have you gone to Homa Bay?
No, have you come to Kirinyaga?
Yes.
I want to take you on a tour down to Kirinyaga. We go to Mwea, take you to the plains, you know, where 60% of rice comes from Kenya. Comes from Mwea. Then I take you to the mountain.
You need to come to Homa Bay. You need to come to Homa Bay.
Kirinyaga, first then we go to the lake.
Oui.
From the mountain to the lakeside.
Aye.
Yes.
Daktari, umesikia hiyo? We need to take a trip.
I'm just trying to think about Kisii.
Oh.
Wow.
Everybody putting their best foot forward. I'm just gearing up. I'm just warming up.
Wow. Actually, Kisii looks like Rwanda. Right?
Wow. Oh, okay.
Yes. It's hilly.
Hilly, yes.
So now you know.
Oh yeah.
Now you know.
Now it's hilly. Now we have the mountain, the second highest mountain in Africa, the only mountain on earth with snow at the equator. Kirinyaga County. Come on, everybody.
Come on.
You've not been to Kirinyaga?
We have to visit. We have to visit. We have to visit. Just trying to market. I think she has achieved.
Kate, what do we have?
I think you have achieved.
You're all welcome to Kirinyaga.
What do we have? What do we have from Machakos?
Myself, I'll speak for my city, which should have been the first city in Kenya, Machakos, for information. It's just that I think it was never given that priority that it deserved.
If we say it is new?
No, Machakos was the first town in Kenya during the colonial time.
Yeah.
And then I think somebody...
Who moved our cup of tea to Machakos? Who did that?
I think that time we didn't have strong people who could have fought for Machakos so that the capital city should have been in Machakos. Right now we should be in Machakos. It's the capital city of Nairobi.
Of Nairobi.
Of Kenya. Nairobi should not be the capital city. Machakos should be the capital city.
Okay. I think Machakos is one of those counties that really benefited from the devolved government. It is what gave it light.
No.
For the longest time.
Machakos was the first town in Kenya during colonial time.
Okay,
yes.
But you can be fast but poorly developed.
It's just because of poor leadership, that's what I'll say.
Okay. That's why you want to be the woman rep.
That's why I want to be the woman rep.
Okay.
Yes.
I think you've not gone to Siaya, where power is. Daniel, tell them, Buana. Tell them, Omera.
And Victor, I think you are biased.
No.
Incoming what? Incoming?
Senator.
Why not saying I'm the incoming for Kisii County? Surely. The only thing you said, we are the town on the hill. That's not all about us.
Let me take that again.
Just take the time.
Dr. Evelyn Ogendo, who is a political analyst and also incoming
woman rep for 045 Kisii County.
Thank you very much.
Now, precisely.
Hey, I take apology.
No, that's accepted.
So let's go to where power is. Siaya County is is well poised for a lot of things. I mean, Siaya has produced big names.
Absolutely.
Over the years.
Siaya is the home of Barack Obama's father, the first president of the United States of America.
Wow.
Now they can all keep quiet.
The home of the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga and the younger brother to Senator Oburu Odinga, who is the one in charge of power as we speak.
Wow.
And Siaya is my home.
Yes.
And the problem is Siaya has been badly managed. Managed, and we are hoping that we can get good leadership in the next election, that can restore the glory of Siaya County.
Yes.
Yes.
You see, now they're all quiet because you talked about big people. Yes. Obama, power, Baba, all that.
No, the first Obama just
Obama is the first president of America.
But I gave all of you a minute of fame.
When you talk about Obama, surely what were we supposed to talk about?
You see?
Then I start talking about my town on the hill.
Okay. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the program. Let's do this. Let me start with the front page of the local dailies very fast. Let me start with the Daily Nation, which is actually going to be forming a part of the discussion. There are two headlines here. One is Ruto leads UDA, ODM, must win. Okay, let me just have it. Okay, very good. Ruto leads ODM, UDA, must win election talks in Naivasha. That is on the front page of the Daily Nation. And also there, President's man, the gentleman who has appeared to be very close to the president. In fact, 2 days ago, there was a video of him going viral that he had a very good proximity to the president. I think that was during the president's family affair function there in Kilgoris. And yes, so the Daily Nation says that Wicknell Chivayo, the flashy Zimbabwean tycoon who loves to display his proximity to power, has unfettered access to President William Ruto, going by photographs of his private meetings with the head of state. But Even by his own standards, Chivayo is gushing over his latest encounter with the president as their dalliance continues to raise eyebrows. Okay, that's on the front page of the Daily Nation. Very fast on the front page of The Star. The Star says that there is a Hustler Fund hits new 28 million shillings, 28 million borrowers mark in 4 years. Okay, 28 million borrowers in 4 years. That is the Hustler Fund. And down there, the president was actually on an empowerment program at State House yesterday when he gave out different motorcycles to border operators. Okay, and finally, on the front page of the Daily Nation reports the game of numbers. Okay, that is what I have here. Daktari says that Matiang'i representing Nyanza with 3.1 million. You'll have something to say about that. Okay, game of numbers. So the Standard reports that President William Ruto squeaked past the 50+1 threshold in 2022 with 50.5% of the vote, drawing more than 3.5 million of 7.5 million votes from Mount Kenya. But his grip on the mountain has since loosened, with his former deputy Rigathi Gachagua tightening his hold on the region after their bitter political divorce. Ruto's UDA is now at the negotiating table with ODM, crunching the numbers for a second-term bid as opposition leaders race to unite and wrestle him from power amid criticism over corruption and poor governance. Now, with 1 year to the general election, alliances are shifting, the numbers are being crunched, and the stakes couldn't be higher. So there's a lot of numbers there from Mount Kenya, 5.7, Nairobi, 2.42, Eastern, where Kit come from, 1.7, okay. Western, 2.22 million voters, North Rift, 2.36 million, Nyanza, 3.1 million, South Rift, 805,000, Northeastern, 1 million, and finally Coast, 2.2 million. So it's just, but again, game of numbers as it is. Okay, so let's come back to the discussion. Let me start with you, Daktari. We saw what happened yesterday, and the alliance is now here. It's quite apparent that when you see almost 250 members of parliament present in Naivasha yesterday, what do you take home from that meeting?
Well, according to me, it was very progressive.
Yeah.
And what happens if people come together, great things happen. And I think, and also, I think both ODM and UDA are geared to go to the election as a combo. And because what I understand is the teams that were nominated, they're supposed to come up with a common manifesto. And when you have a common manifesto, it's just like a constitution that is governing the two parties on how they're going to operate themselves until the election day on 10th. What that means, it's a unity that is being cemented and vouching better ways to move ahead without divisions. You know, you may have, you realize the ODM and UDA are the top, I would say, they are the two parties that call numbers in this country. And when such happens, and you know, the coalitions are still being formed on the opposing side, but when you see two big parties are coming together, I'm sure, well, as they say, they must win. I wouldn't like to say it is yes, and I wouldn't like to challenge them that it's a no, but the writing is on the wall. You know, politics is about numbers. And the two big numbers are coming together, notwithstanding the current crisis in ODM, the divisions and stuff, the different ideas and opinions that are coming for the ones leaders who are together. I don't know whether that is going to shake, but no movement does. You know, you can't also ignore that it has been shaken. And also you see UDA, the numbers were big. It has also been shaken because of the bolting out of most leaders from Mount Kenya. And It's a challenge. It's something somebody needs to work on, because you need to work on your split, you need to work on your differences within your own party, so that the numbers can be a reality and the numbers can be able to serve your must win.
Yeah. Okay, Ambassador, let me just ask you, and this to all of you, what do you think both parties are going to bring? Because something unique that ODM is going to bring to UDA and vice versa, that each party lacks at this point.
I think, first of all, let me say this first of all. Kenyans have been seeing a lot of these meetings happening. A lot of these meetings, a lot of these meetings.
To see more.
No, they don't want to see more.
No, as we head to the elections.
They want action. Let me tell you, they want action, because all of these meetings are about promises. We are going to do this, we are going to do that, we are going to do this, we are going to do that. Kenya wants to see more of action. You see, the president started with boasting a track record of what we have achieved as a broad-based, government. A lot of things, and he was actually telling them, we are not speaking enough of what we are doing. And so the opposition seemed to be taking the day. And to be honest, Kenyans don't seem to see what really is being done. You see, and when you tell people, you promise people too many things, and you even do one thing, sometimes people don't even seem to see it. So I think there's a lot of convincing that needs to be done to Kenyans on the part of government to tell them, no, we're actually working. And since we start in 2025, the 10-point agenda, this is what we have achieved. First of all, tell Kenyans that, because Kenyans don't want to see all of these meetings, again, another meeting, again, another meeting. People just want, for a farmer of rice in Mwea, they don't care there was a meeting yesterday. They just care that I have market for this rice. If you're showing me this, then that meeting was worth it. They don't want more of meetings. For somebody in Turkana, do they care there was a meeting yesterday? They really don't care. They just want action. I want road. I want water. That's what they want. More of action. Yes.
More of action.
Yes.
So what is ODM bringing to the other side and vice versa?
I believe the meetings that have been done already. At this time, they really need to cement that partnership if really they want, because they say we must. The president was saying we must.
It's a must-win coalition.
It's a must-win. So they need to really bring a lot of. They need to really bring that basket from Western Province. They really need to bring that, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done on that end. Yes.
Right, Kate. Go ahead. Whatever happened yesterday, it seems that it's all now down to business.
Thank you, Mr. Olo, for this chance.
Karibu.
Yeah, so I listened to the president yesterday with Dr. Oburu, and they said it's a must win. And if you listen to Dr. Oburu, he said what they're bringing on the table, not only numbers, but quality. But if you listen to them, they said, President said he will nominate. They have already nominated 5 people from each side. But President said he have to nominate 5 people from his side, and Dr. Oburu 5 people from his side, so that they can come up with a manifesto. But my question was, don't they think, us like the youth and as the Gen Zs, do we have a chance to participate in making of their manifesto? That was my question when I listened to them. Because us as the young people, we are not given the opportunity to participate in making the manifesto. And manifesto is what you guys, is like a goalpost of what you guys will do for us, or what as a country we are aiming to achieve. But when I listen to them, it's about like the established political giants will be given the chance to participate in making of their manifesto.
You have already foreseen what will be the outcome.
Yes, because they have already said Dr. Oburu has to, and Mr. President has to nominate 5 people, and they have already nominated. They have already 5
names already there.
10 people. If you look at those 10 people, you'll not find a youth there. They are already established people.
Are we sure? Have you scrutinized all of them to see that there's no youth?
I looked at them and then I said, when they are saying that, they would have said, Dr. Oburu has to nominate 5 people, and President has to nominate 5 people, and then they do public participation where, as the youth, we are engaged. They engage us and they listen to what us, we have to say. Because even if you look at this, they call it Vision 2060. They're saying it will come, but in the next 6 months. And if you look at the Vision 2030, it took 2 years to come up with it. And this 2060, it's only 6 months, less than 6 months to come up with it. That means there's no public participation. Yes.
Can I comment something on that?
That's a different debate.
Can I comment something on that? We should realize that whatever ODM and UDA were coming up with is a manifesto that the primary need. We have to talk about the primary need. And we are not saying that. We are not saying that they are going to win or they are going to lose.
But they say
their way.
What is the primary need here?
That is the primary need right now that we have. Yes. We have an election in 1 year.
Yes.
And then I would say we would be biased if we can rush into saying that the youth have been left out, because I think the names that were indicated, no one's here date of birth was indicated there. And then when we talk about the youth, we have to include also women. We're also vulnerable in one way or another. And I saw women. I saw women nominated. I saw women nominees. And now, what are we saying? I think, according to me, because it's something just at the very start of it. So pessimism and other things may not move them. What we need to see is the end product and then talk about it. Because ideally, I didn't see anybody's date of birth being placed there.
Okay.
That this doctor, this lady is this age and is that age. So I would say, according to me, that is their way of doing their stuff. Are you seeing?
Yeah.
And we can't all fit in.
Okay.
We can't all fit in into the way ODM and UDA, they want to do their stuff. But also, it's good we give them time, because it's at the formative stage for them to form this, and then when it's the end product, and then we are like, oh, what's the age of this one? What's the age of this one?
So this is a bigger picture. This is a bigger picture. I also want to bring Daniel, the bigger picture, because look at it this way: the two parties who perennially have been opponents, in the electoral cycle, now coming together, done, and you know this. So what is unique in ODM that UD is lacking, and vice versa? This is the same question I'm still asking, that makes them now to come together and say, we are going to work together.
Thank you very much, Victor, for having me. The meeting yesterday in Naivasha is very, very significant. The two parties, as you rightfully said, are the largest parties in Kenya. ODM, they like saying that the biggest party south of Sahara and Limpopo, and the UDA is the ruling party. UDA, as you remember, in the 2022 general election, won against the odds. They won the presidential elections against the odds when the deputy president was then was a candidate, but the President Uhuru was supporting Azimio. But because of the organizational capacity of UDA, they were able to outwit, Azimio and win that election.
Yes.
So UDA is bringing onto the table a huge organizational capacity, a huge voter turnout capacity, and to ensure that, because as you can see, UDA were able to actually recruit and pay their agents who are able to protect their votes. Now, and that was what was lacking on the ODM side. But on the ODM side, you have a vibrancy. When you bring people like Joho, you bring people, these, I don't want to call them loudmouths, but you're bringing all this talent together. And if you combine these two forces, I can tell you, the opposition will not realize what hit them, and so so I think basically that is my view on that.
All right, let's listen to what the president said. Director, let's just listen to what the president said in as far as this is concerned, based on also that Daniel talked about.
The other side is in chaos. I don't have to say that. I don't have to explain.
And we are not shy about it. We want to make policies which will take us to Singapore.
By God's grace, we must win the next election. Inshallah, we must win the next election. Not for your sake, for the sake of Kenya.
We'll catapult this great community of ours of ODM and order to power next year in 2027.
Because I knew and I realized it was my intention to bring the country together, I did engage the Honorable Raila Odinga immediately after the election.
Hii broad-based, Mheshimiwa Rais, imetusaidia sana, imeturahisishia kazi ya siasa na hata kazi ya kukusaidia kuendesha serikali ambayo unaongoza.
Because we want to know who is with us and who is not with us. If you are not with us, you are not with us. If you are with us, you are with us. And let's speak very, very frankly.
Ambassador, your take?
I think most of those are political statements. The opposition, is saying there's nothing.
Yeah, they're in chaos.
Yes, they are in chaos, you know, and this is a competition, really. You have to show you're the best and you have to hit the other side. But I think it will be anybody who wants to look at the opposition and say there's nothing there. I think you have to be very naive to say that. You have to be very naive. Because every day we are seeing delegations, even from the president's staff, every day delegations from the south, from the coast. We're seeing delegations going to Amunyoro. We are seeing a lot of traction, even with the Sifuna's team. And I think there's one voice. There's one voice that's resounding in all of these meetings. That people are tired of a presidency of lies. That's the one thing that's really resounding. And so actually they were saying the first thing that we want to do is remove a presidency that does not have, that first of all kills its youth, kills its young people. That's one of the things that they are saying. And so I don't believe there is chaos there. It's just that they have not come up with one presidential candidate. It doesn't mean that they don't have something that they will do for Kenyans. And I believe that is something that the opposition is working on. So there is no chaos. Actually, this chaos it's spreading chaos in their own turfs.
Yes.
The chaos you're talking about, it's what is you are experiencing in your own turfs, because people are starting to break away. Yeah. So I think the opposition has a lot to offer. Yeah, and I don't think they should be taken lightly.
Okay. Doctor, when you look at that, the three gentlemen speaking, that is President, Dr. Buru, and Deputy President. We've not seen any member of ODM or UDA speaking, only the three big men. And this comes as a situation now, Raila Odinga is missing, but we could still hear his name, not somewhere on the stage. What does that really show us? That Raila Odinga's name is still with us, even to the ballot?
I think, I don't know whether you listened to this old mzee from Nyanza was talking to the Luos, I suggest, the people with the stronghold of the ODM.
We take a break. Director says that you just hold it there. Can we?
Sure.
Okay. Because I want to serve you tea. Yes.
So you have to ask me that question.
Now I want to serve you tea. All of you. Let's take a break.
Hebu fikirie environment kama hii hapa Western Kenya, eti mtu atatoka hapa aende Nairobi kusoma university. to conquer the world. Mimi Andrew nitahakikisha hiyo ndoto imezimwa. Tazama hayo yote kwa Gundu KBC Tuesday to Thursday 7:30 p.m. Leo sio kesho.
Pindi tunapowasha vifaa vyetu, tunapata fursa ya kutangamana na wasikilizaji wetu.
Karibu sana thĩinĩ wa tabarĩra ya Rwiga.
Tunapeperusha utangazaji uliobobea katika habari,
nĩ ũndũ wa macio na mangĩ maingĩ,
burudani,
haha nĩ harĩa tũkoragwo tũkĩigua nyĩmbo mwaki nyĩmbo hota
na hamasisho la kiroho. Usiachwe nyuma, jiunge nasi kwa safari ya kufana katika 99.5 FM. Shoro FM.
All right, and welcome back. We're still having this discussion. Okay, so as we head into this, so it's going to be a little bit more paced. Joined by Dr. Evelyn Ogendo, political analyst. She says that she is the incoming woman rep of KBC County. I'm also joined by Daniel Jumomondi, who is the Africa Regional Representative of Global Peace Foundation. Ambassador Sarah Monye, leadership and governance expert. She's also the incoming senator of
Kirinyaga County.
I have to, is it Kirinyaga? How do you pronounce it well?
Kirinyaga.
Kirinyaga. Okay.
Like that.
Mike Migwi, did I say it correctly? Very good.
Yes.
And Katrina Kate Mutiso is a political analyst. And also, she said that she's the incoming woman rep of Machakos County. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. Doctor, I ask you a question. Raila Odinga's name refuses to leave the stage to date. By the way, the function is still ongoing in Naivasha, so we'll cross over to Hashim later on in the program. But when you listen to that, Odinga's name was invoked on that stage. And my thinking is it going to go until the ballot?
Odinga's name, when you talk about ODM,
yes,
I think it's so inevitable. It just has to come in. And I think there's something just about him not being there and about him always being there. Now that he's physically gone, I think, I don't want to sound so spiritual, but I believe, you know, what we are dealing with as ODM are remnants, are people, most of them, who are created by him. So when you create something, even if you're gone, I think it continues to exist in boardrooms. I don't think his name is about to go, especially if ODM is going to remain as ODM.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, maybe, you know, of course you have to have rebels. You expect that. People don't think the same. People have different opinions about different issues. But I don't think his name is about to go for now. And when you talked about the three, I would call them principals, the ones who talked, you say like Professor Kindiki apparently is in UDA, the president is in UDA, and Dr. Buru is in ODM. I think when you talk about individuals and not having other people speak, it depends on who was talking. Was it the leadership? Was it everybody else? Because it is still something that they are trying to form and come up also with structures. They came together because they don't have structures, because they don't have a driving, like a driving manual towards their intent. So that's why I think, according to me, there was a limitation of speakers, because what are you standing up and talking about? Because the next time I expect when they are going to come up with the nominees, and then when they are going to come up and say, I didn't hear them talk about the power sharing that was there initially when they were talking about the 50-50. So I think maybe this, the nominees are the people who are going to determine about what the speculation was that they would like to feature in 50-50%.
Yes.
It is still something that was at the formative stage. So according to me, we give it time. We give it time, and they said they must win. And I'm sure the opposition comes up, you see, like Sisi Nisifuna, everybody, you know, when you're getting to the ballots, like let me say about Kisii County, everybody else sees herself as a winner. You can be 50, you can be 30 of you, but there's no way out will come up or I'll say that I'm going to lose. No politicians accept to be a loser before you try everything that you have to try and see whether you're going to make it.
Okay.
So I wouldn't like to challenge them too much. That I wouldn't like to say that to make out anything tangible for now, now that whatever they were doing or they are doing in Naivasha, it is still at a formative stage.
Okay. Okay, Dan, is it 50-50 possible?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's quite possible. However, and I've said this earlier, Victor, that Raila Odinga left ODM in the broad-based coalition arrangement. And this time, this time, of course, we have heard about some people within ODM saying they want the number 2 slot.
Yes.
And all that. And also we remember, we have said, and I've heard, some speakers saying that they had a similar arrangement with Uhuru Kenyatta, actually as Dr. Buru said the other time, who never gave a single appointment to ODM. So I think it's possible, and for me, my advice to the ODM part of their coalition is not to focus too much on the deputy president. But if 50-50 is possible, they already have the finance docket, energy, and the others. Let them take the more dockets, and no need to focus so much on the deputy president. Deputy president can be impeached anytime. We have seen that, right?
True.
So we don't need to focus on that. But it is possible. It is possible, and what I like about the meeting yesterday, the must-win coalition is the must-win spirit. If you compare it with the hyena coalition, the one that Gachagua is coming up with, the hyena. I don't know why he came up with such a name, hyena coalition. But what is yes. But I can say that from yesterday. Because yesterday was 10th of August. Now we have started a count. Today is 364 days to the election. And what is being cooked in Naivasha, they'll start serving it slowly to Kenyans. And I can tell you, the president, who has never lost any election, any contest, combine his abilities with the ODM, who have always spiritedly, fought and lost with a very slim margin. It's going to be a tall order.
So who needs the other most here?
I think they need each other. They need each other.
I know, but who needs the other most here?
The president.
The president needs.
Why?
The president needs ODM to cater for the Mount Kenya, which I've said, and which is basically remarkably true, has gone with Rigiji, okay? And you can see Rigiji is always focusing on Mount Kenya. And I've said, I think I had someone say, Rigiji, even though he has announced it, I don't think he really wants to be president. He just wants to lord it over Mount Kenya. He wants to be the kingpin of Mount Kenya. He wants to decide who runs for what. He wants to be the one who decides for the people of Mount Kenya, which, in my view, is a return of retrogressive politics that we witnessed. For a long time, people in Nyanza were always ODM and ODM and ODM. If you do not listen to ODM, then so I think Rigiji is trying to bring. It is very sad that he's bringing that brand of politics to Mount Kenya. And my advice to the people of Mount Kenya is, do not go back there, because if you go back to a system where
that is debatable. Dan. That is debatable.
Let me roll up.
We have seen what that does to you when you rely on one person to tell you how to vote, to tell you, just because someone has given a donation or what, that you have to vote for that person, irrespective of the issues, irrespective of whether that person is So for me, that's what I'm seeing, and it's a big problem.
Yes.
And yesterday I saw one Gen Z actually say on social media that if the opposition is actually telling them that they want to, bring it back to Gachagua, then they'd rather go with Ruto. And they said they want that people are overestimating, how much, that Kenyans don't like. People overestimate. But if you bring in Gachagua, people will come back to Ruto. You bring in the others, like I've heard you say, that if there is no, if no Matiang'i, then they'll go for
Dr.
right.
Matiang'i.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is always an alternative.
As we are said.
I don't know whether you've seen the way Kate is looking at you.
I know that. I know she wants to. She can't wait.
I'm also rolling up. I'm also rolling up.
Go ahead.
I'm also rolling up.
I'm wondering, because he's advising the people of Mount Kenya not to listen to Gachagua. Yet, why is Ruto right now, why is His Excellency, the President right now focusing more on the ODM? Because he knows already he lost the Mount Kenya numbers.
That's fine. So
yes.
he lost it. Huh?
Yes, he lost it. And also,
yes.
if you listen to
but he didn't lose completely.
Rigiji is not, the people who are there, even them they know. But let me not talk. Rigiji right now, as he has been saying, he has the numbers. And if you listen to Rigiji doesn't want even to be the president. He just wants to front someone.
I think
and me, if I was asked, the best duo to beat Mr. President would be Kalonzo and Sifuna.
I think
I think that one you got it wrong.
You're opening another debate altogether.
The one who beats the president is Dr. Matiang'i and somebody else.
Now that's
politics, probably from the mountain.
Politics.
You can hear what we're talking about.
Okay.
So the
politics
opposition, like the president said,
and science is numbers.
has not got. They're in chaos. The opposition is in chaos. And I can tell you that the president is relishing at the chaos within the opposition. Everybody wants to be president. Everybody wants to be president, and the people who wants to be president. I mean, we know them. We know who they are. Being a president is not it's not easy. Raila Odinga tried it for many times. Raila Odinga had the money, he had the numbers.
The sky is up to align.
He's never been able to do it. So, for me, I'm thinking even though there is talk that the president has lost Mount Kenya, but you need to know that this president has maintained 8 CSS from Mount Kenya in his government until today. You even have a deputy president.
Does it mean their relatives will not vote?
So the president is looking at, he wants to get rid of this tribal arithmetic. Tribal arithmetic.
But right now, I want to comment about the mountain. Let me comment about the mountain currently. What the mountain is facing right now that all of us are ignoring, it is that the mountain is threatening to break between the west and the east. And then you saw leaders, you saw the interview of Mheshimiwa Munya, what he was talking about in Citizen TV the other day. So it is threatening to fix. And you see, when they want to fight on this side, they want to fight as a mountain, and the mountain is threatening to split as we speak. Because when it splits, what does it mean? When you find a leader from Embu, from Meru, and you saw what the Mbas said, the Bans, is it Graitu? What he was saying the other day, it is that it is time for the mountain to get used to other leaders being on the leadership seat, because they have been there for the last 5 years, and it is a high time. They need counseling. They need counseling to know that it's going to be very tricky for them to be in the mainstream national politics as it is right now as I speak. And you see, when a leader like Kiraitu has been a governor before, he speaks such a thing, it means the mountain is living in denial that this thing is going. This thing is going.
Those could be theatrics.
This thing is going. You see, the mountain, since independence, since whatever time, if the president is not Kikuyu, the deputy president is Kikuyu. If the president is not Kalenjin, the deputy president.
Daktari, that is because of the numbers.
It is a high time.
Daktari,
the numbers now are splitting. We want to benefit from the split.
Okay.
The mountain people could be
this is because of the
us.
numbers, Kate, which is also on the front page of the Standard here.
Yes.
Because of the numbers. We all know that in politics you have to bring numbers.
Yes.
Okay?
It's about
so if Mount Kenya has got 5.7 million, the highest so far.
Why ignoring His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is that when you say that Rigji is the only kingpin there, we have Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta who has been president before. Are you saying that? And who was working with the late Raila Amolo Odinga? I think we are not going to ignore him. You know, we cannot per se say that Rigji is going to command the mountain when other people, other leaders who are very potential from the mountain are of a contrary idea.
He's not commanding, but he's working with
contrary
them.
opinion.
He's working with
He's not able to work with them. The other day they were calling him names. They were telling him, we are not your boys.
That's why I was telling you, this would be they could be playing.
The mountain is playing us. It's going to shake.
The mountain is not playing us. Let me tell you, the mountain could be playing us. You saw what happened in Olkalau. They say you can rent a Kikuyu, but you can never buy a Kikuyu.
It's why Guru said.
But if you see what they are doing, they could be saying that so that they can show the president that we are bringing.
That is real.
But deep down,
I think that is real.
It's not real, and there's no
It's
split
not
in
real.
the mountain.
Well,
Let me
I'm telling you, it's not real.
let me speak from the mountain. There's no split in the mountain. Listen, there was an event. You see, I know Munya spoke because that you want to.
So he was pretending. Whatever he was saying, he was lying and pretending.
No. Listen.
He was just throwing tantrums.
Listen.
And I say he was not throwing tantrums.
No, because there was a Meru event.
Because when you want to talk for him, I can also talk for him.
He spoke
because
in the
none
morning.
of us was with him.
He spoke in the morning. In the evening, they were all together in a Meru event. Gachagua
I totally disagree. They met with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and then he decided this Rigji is a tribal guru, and what we need to do now, the leaders, everybody has to come
He has been working with every leader in the mountain.
I have a question.
No
I have a question. At the beginning, you said that without Matiang'i, there is no.
As we already decided. Because we are
what
not,
have you
decided?
Hold up. What have you decided?
Not yet have we decided. You know, we are still watching because we have not seen that this is the person who's going to be the leader of opposition.
Let me tell you what she said.
Just like
the Western said, no Sifuna, back to Ruto.
No, I'm talking about...
No Matiang'i, back to Ruto.
Yes.
So that is the threat.
Yes.
Okay.
So you tell me, are the mountain going to vote themselves to be president?
What is, because the whole thing is, you know, she comes from Kirinyaga, and she said that she can speak on behalf of the mountain.
Yes.
Which is the...
Like me, I can't speak per se on behalf of Kisii,
so can we give her
opinions.
Okay. Ambassador, talk to us.
Yes. I want to say there is no split in the mountain. And just like in any house, you'll find a brother and a brother, they will disagree. They'll disagree in the morning. In the evening, they're eating dinner together. That happens. And right now, you see what's happening within the united opposition. Everybody will front themselves. If it is Sifuna will front himself as the best candidate. If it is Rigiji, which is my party leader, he's my party leader, he's fronting himself as the best candidate. Bring your candidate as the best candidate, and then we come to the table. That's what we are saying. And that is what my party leader,
to bring these leaders.
And that is what, that's what we are all, that's the call. Bring yourself. Actually, my party leader said, there should even be more parties. Let there be everybody, if you have a party, position yourself, go out there, look for votes. Go out there, look for votes. I am working day and night, going from corner to corner of this country to popularize my party, popularize yours, and then we come together and say, okay, based on this and this, this is the best arrangement.
Is Rigiji the leader of opposition?
He's not the leader of opposition.
Then why is he saying bring your numbers? Why is he the one saying? Because if you are not the leader of the opposition, why are you the one to say?
He's not telling.
Because it's a game of numbers.
Because that's what works.
It is all here.
Why is it that it is him who has appointed him to be the leader of opposition to tell other party leaders that bring your numbers?
Okay.
Who has given him that mandate? That is the question. You know, you cannot start leading people before you are given a mandate to lead. He is not the leader of opposition.
So what is... Are you in the opposition? Is Rigiji your party leader?
No.
She is the...
How now?
Okay. Then you don't have to question why Rigiji is speaking on.
No,
I'm just trying to create some balance.
That's how it works.
There's
I'm just
nothing
trying to create some balance.
It's being
That's how it
dominant.
works.
It's just domineering.
It's
on
not
other
domineering.
people, on other
Okay.
leaders.
It's not
that
domineering.
you think have no numbers. That is big
But
dominance.
who has domineered on who? Don't you have
everything
numbers?
here is
All right.
politics. They say
So,
politics
Victor,
is science.
So my
Science is
advice,
numbers.
this is my advice.
I'm
Let me
not-
advise my sister. I'm from Nyanza, and you see those 3.1 million votes, those are basically, those votes should be in one basket.
Yes.
Okay? And Nyanza, the Kisii nation and the Luo nation have been voting, together as in one block. And so let me, I mean, my advice to Matiang'i, and he's a very good brother of ours, a very good man, he did a lot during his time with the Ministry of Education. He brought a lot of, sanity in the Uhuru administration. My advice to him, because if already Rigiji is showing you Madarau, he's doing that. So the best thing for you to do, yes, and we are seeing it, and we are saying, you cannot treat Matiang'i like that, and also we are saying, Matiang'i, come back, let's have our Nini together. Those votes of us are together.
Due respect.
And I also agree with her that if no Matiang'i, back to Ruto, because see, the Luo nation, we have decided we are going with Ruto. That's where Baba left us, and we are comfortable there. And politics is about just making a decision. And that's another thing I've been saying, is that since also Kalonzo has stood with Raila Odinga for a long time. The safest path to the presidency for Kalonzo would have been to stick where Baba left him. You get my point? Let President Ruto finish his term, and then we give it to Kalonzo. That is basically what I've been saying. So my advice is Matiang'i and Kalonzo, if you can, come back, let us work together, within the broad-based arrangement. President Ruto has done, he may not be a perfect president, but I keep saying he has done much better than other presidents have done in the past.
True.
And for me, I always say that if it is working, why fix it?
What is the problem?
And even if you want to fix it, what do you want to replace it with?
Let me just light this matchbox here. Just a quick light. So what would be the problem with the Kalonzo being the presidential flag bearer and then Sifuna being his running mate?
If he does that, that is basically what I hear is going to happen. My intel tells me that it is basically going to be Kalonzo Sifuna ticket. That is my own intelligence. But unfortunately, if that happens, if they don't give it, because what Sifuna has done, Sifuna has excited the Luya nation and the Gen Zs,
and that's the only sense of
he
politics.
has made them feel that he's going to be on top of that ticket. Yet Sifuna doesn't have the experience. Of course, I don't want to talk about experience, but he doesn't have the money. The money is not there. Right now, Sifuna, of course, he has a pay bill, and he's expecting for people to give him money, which is okay. But we are not yet at that time of our politics. So if it is Kalonzo Sifuna, it's viable, but it's not going to be easy.
Very good.
It's going to be very easy.
There are two scenarios here. You are talking about where Raila Odinga, because his name is actually still on the stage.
We are still mourning him.
Exactly.
And it is disrespectful for people who benefited from Raila Odinga, like Sifuna, to now want to destroy Baba's party.
Sifuna
is not destroying Baba's party.
He is running away with
these greedy leaders kicked him out.
No, he wasn't kicked
Illegally,
out.
actually.
They kicked him out.
They kicked him out.
No,
because Sifuna is friendly to DCP.
Let me tell you,
you guys are so strict like this.
No. If you listen,
the message is really going to shock you.
If you listen to Sifuna's speech during Baba's burial, he said he'll not be the first person and he'll not be the one to destroy ODM. But after that, these greedy leaders, I don't know what they were given, but they decided
to
kick
the
him out.
president at the night.
Yes.
They were not even there to receive their body.
And all the time, Sifuna is wearing a t-shirt.
in broad-based government. What message
according to
was
me,
he sending?
What message? Okay, allow me to ask this question. Okay, I have a question, Dan.
He should have sat there, learned the ropes, and waited to be the president after Ruto.
Thank you. If Raila Odinga left, the way you're putting it, in the broad-based arrangement, right? Kalonzo Musyoka stood with Baba how many times?
3 times.
Three times. What would be the biggest mistake? The people who supported, who were with Ruto, Raila Odinga supporting Kalonzo.
Now, the Luo nation really love Kalonzo. As a matter of fact, even my wife is from Machakos. So for me, Kalonzo is Mudoniwa. You get my point?
Okay.
So we really, love Kalonzo. But the problem people of Nyanza have with Kalonzo is because of the way DCP leader has been treating the people of Nyanza. Gachagua has never even attended Raila. He never attended Raila's funeral. He's never been to Nyanza since Raila died. He has never attended his funeral. He kept disparaging the Luo nation. And so the reason why the Luos are fearing Kalonzo is because now Kalonzo wants to be comfortable with regarding Gachagua.
And by the time
regarding Gachagua, cannot be trusted. He's a quarrelsome person. He quarrels every time. He's a quarreling machine.
He's angry.
He's an angry machine.
No, who has he quarreled?
He's always quarreling.
No, who has he quarreled?
Even when
he's never bitter.
Even when he won Ol Kalou, he was still quarreling.
Who did he quarrel? Who did he quarrel?
He's quarreling those who voted.
You can't see who he quarrels.
He's quarreling. He's unsettled.
Okay. And let me say this. Rigathi Gachagua has been around the country. He'll get to Nyanza. You wait for it. You want him to go when you want him to go.
Let me just say something simple. Because
he will go to Turkana, he will go to the North.
Rigathi Gachagua is only interested in Mount Kenya.
Let me tell you, you may not agree, but for the sake of our inner peace and the progression of this, let me tell the opposition this, that defeating the sitting president is not a walk in the park, and I think all of them, they know. If they need to defeat him, they need to all of them come together. The Gachaguas, the Kalonzos, the Sifunas, the Who's need to come together and front this one person who is going to benefit from their regions. But if they go on saying it is Sifuna Kalonzo, it is Dr. Matiang'i Kalonzo, the Kalonzo seems to be the constant. Are you seeing? The constant here. If they keep on saying that, the people are going to have the agitation from Kisii. They are going to break that matrix that would have made them at least compete. Because if they are going to have those divisions, Sambili, we have the president.
Let me get this point clear, Dr. So, what are you fronting for? If not Matiang'i, it is?
Back to Ruto.
I want to be very clear.
Okay.
You know the agitation that we have been given, the Madharau we have been given by Rigiji from the mountain, and Madharau, our leader, the person we are very proud of, Dr. Matiang'i. I want to positively tell you this. If it is not Dr. Matiang'i, it is Dr. Ruto.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Fine.
And it will be in rebellion and in retaliation to tell them, let him not undermine our number. Whatever number it is, when we come together, we make statements.
Senator Mandago one day, Senator Mandago once said that siasa usiweke wapi?
Kwa mabafu. Unajua tumekasirika bila Gachagua alikuwa anaambia daktari. Tumekasirika sana.
So right now,
you can't tell our person like that and then you want us to sit down and smile.
Listen. As united opposition,
we can't sit down and smile when Rigiji is disrespecting
as united
person who is the king.
I agree with that.
As united opposition,
we can't sit here.
As united opposition, if you have seen,
let him not undermine the other leaders even if they have
Dr. Matiang'i has been working, is with Kalonzo, is with Wamalwa, and is with Rigiji. It's just that there was a little bit misunderstanding.
So you want to be encouraged?
Just a little bit misunderstanding. And let me tell you,
want to be encouraged that Kalonzo and Sifuna goes to the ballot beats Ruto. Surely, that's a pipe dream.
We'll have Dr. Matiang'i as our prime minister. A prime cabinet minister.
Stop this pipe dreams. Those are pipe dreams you're talking about.
That's not a pipe dream.
Yani, you want to tell us here that you have voted Kalonzo.
Let me tell you.
And
Numbers don't lie.
Dr. Matiang'i out. And then these ones, this duo is busy defeating Ruto.
Matiang'i will be there. Matiang'i is there.
Dr. Ruto.
United opposition, Matiang'i is given his respect.
Hii nature ndio Rigiji yako nayo. Unaona hivi vitu mnaongea hivi.
Hiyo ni Rigiji. But let me tell you, if you know Kalonzo is a very...
Let's call the meeting to order. This is confirming President Ruto's statement that the opposition is in chaos.
Is in chaos.
It's not in chaos.
For us,
what is the house? Because
order members.
The nation needs predictability.
Yes. Member of Sia County.
It's a healthy discussion. It's not in chaos.
Order.
It's a healthy discussion.
Order. Member of Kirinyaga. Order.
Yes.
Hey.
It is the last member standing.
You know, I've only asked 3 questions since the show began. I've only asked 3 questions.
And I think I like this arrangement.
Yes, I love it.
I just like this arrangement. So that we neutralize.
This is a very healthy conversation.
We are neutralizing you.
Nobody should call it chaos.
It's chaos. What's chaos when you disagree? Even right now we're in chaos. We're in bizarre. Even right now we are in chaos. Even right now.
The problem I have with one term is that they don't have any reason why Ruto needs to be voted out.
Yeah.
And they don't have a replacement. They don't have a replacement.
Now,
you cannot have one term as your slogan.
Okay.
You understand?
It's a slogan.
We have a nation to run.
You need to
tell us.
No, we were called that by Mr.
Let's be fair.
You need to tell us. Rigiji was in government. The only reason Rigiji is in one term is because he was impeached. He was angry.
Sir,
he's angry.
You are forgetting.
You can't run a nation with anger.
You are forgetting that even the President Ruto, the only one chant he was chanting throughout 2 or 3 years of campaign was hustler. That's the only thing he was saying. We are going to lift the bottom up. That's the only thing he was saying.
Balozi, are you in chaos?
No, we're not in chaos.
What is your agenda?
Our agenda, very good. Thank you very much. So our agenda, first of all, is to remove any presidency, because the presidency is everything. If you want to fight corruption in this country, it's the presidency. So is there goodwill from the presidency? So if we can remove bad leadership, bad governance from the top, then we have a good, we can be able to, we have healthy institutions, we strengthen our institutions. If it's like the Anti-Corruption Commission, we can empower them, give them power to prosecute. If we are not seeing that from the presidency, then anything else we are talking about, it's not going to work.
I want to see
the presidency was given to us by Gachagua. Gachagua convinced Kenyans to vote for President Ruto.
I want to see clarity.
And we have agreed. We are helping Gachagua to love President Ruto.
I gave a chance. Number 2?
Yes. So number 2, first of all, is also bring integrity into the police force. Integrity in how the police force is handled. Right now, we are having our police force being used as goons. They are used to actually kill Kenyans. We had a very sorry case the other day, which is ongoing this morning. So if we can be able to streamline the police force, which is something that I'm hearing, from the United Opposition, that we make sure that our police force protects Kenyans, is not the one that's killing Kenyans, and it's coming again from the presidency. You see, that's the other thing. So this, we do have an agenda. But the first agenda for me is to remove this bad leadership that we have already.
Okay.
Yes. And by the way, in time, listen, in time, by the way, we will, you see, we now have 364 days. We have 364 days. You wait. I know you want to hear everything now, but it will not happen now. But by the time we get to December, you'll be seeing.
Okay.
I want to see clarity, Victor.
Tukimaliza, we are done. Clarity. Yes.
I'd like you to tell me, when you talk about we, are you people in the mountain going to be the ones removing Ruto? We.
No, I'm saying we.
Let me finish the questions. And then you're talking about the police, streamlining the police. You're saying Ruto must go, streamlining the police. Are those the issues that are really bothering this country? Beginning the level of job. Are you sure that is the problem Kenyans have?
Okay.
No, first of all,
Kenyans have a problem with the police.
Yes. No, listen.
Are the police running this economy?
All right. The sense of entitlement.
Because
the assumption that people
we
love Ruto.
Who is we?
So if you remove Ruto,
let's clarify the we.
Okay.
I already said that.
Okay. Let me get to Kate.
Yes.
Let me get your closing remarks. What? Okay.
We as the United Opposition.
Closing remarks.
What I can say.
Next time make it 2 hours.
By the next time make it 2 hours. Because I feel like I've not been able to say what I really wanted to say. But what I would say whether President Ruto gets 2 term or 1 term, what we need is the government that works for the youth and that brings policies and solutions to the problems that we are facing as a nation. And not everything that we have to politicize in, because like right now in Kenya, we have problems, but for us to solve these problems, we don't have to politicize them. Like I've heard you, Ambassador, you're saying the police, then you blame the police and then you connect them with the president. Then, you know, sometimes he's not the one to blame. It's the people below him.
They are used to it comes from the president.
Below him.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey.
Daktari.
Then it's failed leadership.
I keep on calling you Daktari.
The leadership has failed.
So, for me, like where I come from, those people, you know, have a lot of faith in President Ruto. Because President Ruto is doing, for the first time, what has been denied the people of that part of Nyanza. You get my point? And so, when you guys from the mountain speak, that we are going to remove Ruto, I mean, you have to know that there are people in Nyanza who actually still love this president. I was in Kilgoris, and this president, you know, his daughter got married. I was there.
Oh,
He's a family man. And, and another thing we're saying is that the president is not perfect. He's not a perfect human being. But for now, this president, you know, is better than the chaos that we are likely to see within the opposition.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
You know what?
No.
We have to finish. Can I tell you something?
A government that kills is better than what?
Okay, I had prepared 12 questions to ask.
You have to be ready to be very bitter.
I've only asked 3.
Seriously.
I prepared 12
Is
questions.
better than what?
I've only asked 3. But I have to thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming to the show. You know what? The conversation continues. 360? 4 days to go.
4 days
We
to
still
go.
have got a long way to go. And we thank God and we just hope that we are going to meet again to continue this discussion. That's my future and that's my hope. Thank you so much for coming to the show. Ambassador Sarah Munyi, asante sana for coming. She is leadership and governance expert and also the incoming, I wish you all the best,
Thank you,
the woman
sir.
rep of
No, please,
Senator of Kirinyaga. I beg your pardon. And of course, Dr. Evelyn Ogendo, the incoming
Woman Rep 045,
Kisii County, and of course, Kate Katrina Mutiso, also the incoming
women representative in Machakos County.
Asante sana. And the only gentleman, Dan, how have you performed? Have you handled them?
I loved it. I loved the whole today.
At some point, you two kept quiet.
Okay.
We ran the show.
Yes, Dan is, thank you so much. So allow me to leave it at that.
Yes.
All right, allow me to leave it at that, and we are now crossing over to Naivasha. The 5-member team which were picked yesterday is actually starting their work today. So let's cross over and listen to what they are doing. My name is Victor Lo. Good morning.
Hey, Victor, my apologies. We've really...
Members from each party to develop a common manifesto that we shall ultimately place before the Kenyan people in the 2027 general election. The Orange Democratic Party has nominated Mr. Isaac Wanuge, Ms. Mariam Abdullahi Mbaruk, Ms. Leonida Kerubo Omosa, Engineer Kare Oregonian, and Kare Orege, and Professor Bernard Mwok, with the ODM Executive Director serving as an ex-official member. Kenya Kwanza has nominated Mr. Emmanuel Nzai, Dr. Daniel Mwai, Mr. Bramwell Simiyu, Mr. Mohamed Hassan, and Dr. Cecilia Ngetich, with the UDA Executive Director serving as an ex-official member. Myself and Dr. Oburu will each nominate another 5 members from each political party and formation to a second joint team to prepare the coalition framework agreement, recommend the principles and governance structures that will guide our partnership, and propose the leadership arrangements necessary to take this coalition forward.
And then there will be a framework team which will now work on the coalition, which will include sharing of power. But, as we move on forward, those who thought that ODM was going to be swallowed, I tell them, oh.
Professor Githu Muigai's legal training was boosted when upon graduating from the University of Nairobi in 1983. He joined the Columbia Law School where he earned masters in law. Upon returning to Kenya, he taught at the University of Nairobi, rapidly establishing himself as an authoritative scholar, consultant and practitioner. He was a legend at the Parkland's Law Faculty, where students regarded him as an erudite, articulate, opinionated, and charismatic. Professor Muigai is a founding partner at Mohammed Muigai LLP, where his prowess was undisputed. As his professional stature rose to commanding heights, he found himself drawn to public affairs locally and globally. In 2000, he was selected to the Constitution of Kenya Review Commission, a panel tasked with delivering Kenya's first attempt at a fundamental constitutional overhaul. After his appointment to CKRC, he went on to earn a PhD in law in November 2002. In 2008, he was appointed a United Nations Special Rapporteur on contemporary forms of racism, xenophobia, racial discrimination, and related forms of intolerance. He also served a term as a judge of the East Africa Court of Justice between 2008 and 2010. He was appointed Attorney General by President Mwai Kibaki in August 2011, following the retirement of Amos Worker, who had served for 2 decades. Professor Muigai continued to serve as the Attorney General under President Uhuru Kenyatta's administration after the 2013 general election. He resigned in February 2018, citing a desire to return to private practice and academia. He is listed in major international arbitration institutions as a member of the Permanent Court Arbitration, a member of the London Court of International Arbitration Africa Users Council, among others. His focus in recent years has been strongly on international arbitration and dispute resolution rather than direct public office. Jackie Wimbiru, The Cabinet.
Many thanks for tuning in to KBC Channel 1. You're still watching Good Morning Kenya. My name is Mike Mungu. Let's talk about matters of education. And when we talk about matters of education, we want to focus on how we can empower girls who are able differently through education, because that transcends just putting them in school to include matters of removing financial, communication, social, technological, and confidence barriers to enable them participate, learn, transition, and become more economically independent citizens of this country. And for that conversation, I am joined by Dr. Winnie Koko, who is a founder of Elimisha Binti Initiative. Welcome to Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well.
Yes, let's get into the conversation. And when we talk about, matters of education,
yes,
it's usually viewed as the great equalizer. Yet when you look at girls who are able differently, they continue to face barriers. We're talking about matters of enrollment, even cases of retention and completion.
Yeah.
Why are we still facing this? Are they still facing these barriers from your perspective?
Yeah, I believe from my perspective, there are deep-rooted concerns, systemic concerns that have not been addressed within our communities, within our governments, and there's so much more that needs to be done in order to go deep in, and find out what some of those barriers are. Yeah, I believe the biggest problem is systemic.
Systemic.
Yes. Yeah.
And when you look at it, are we still measuring success by whether these girls get into schools rather than whether they actually learn, complete their education, and they transition to become independent, economically independent?
Yeah, I think when it comes to measuring success, for example, given what I do myself, I believe measuring success is supposed to be a holistic approach. And so how are we ensuring that these girls are economically, civically, and educationally empowered so that they develop into these wholesome individuals who are whole in each and every aspect of their lives. And so I believe measuring success should come from the aspect of making sure that they're not just going to school, but how are we going to incorporate them into the community beyond schooling? How do we ensure that there are better transition services that are going to enable them to get into the job sector, for instance, or into entrepreneurship after school? And how are we ensuring that they are also economically and civically empowered in order to achieve what they need to do as grown-up adults who are able differently? Yeah.
And you know, let's say a girl who is able differently may be present in school, but unable to follow the lesson.
Yes.
Probably because they cannot hear, probably because they cannot access learning materials or communicate effectively. So at what point should we stop calling this access to education and recognize it as a failure of inclusion?
Yes.
At what point should we term it as, should we not see it as just access to education? Because that is different. To a point where we see it as a failure of inclusion.
Absolutely, I hear you, because those are two separate things. So when we're talking about access, it's just that aspect of giving that basic access to education. In other words, providing the mechanisms through which these girls can go to school. And that is very different from inclusion, because you can bring this child to school, and I have some examples of some of the girls that I educate. I mean, I bring them to school, but they share with me some of the concerns that they go through, particularly in the school environments where they are. And so you find that the aspect of inclusion has different things to it. For instance, if a girl who is deaf and hard of hearing goes to school, she's not just going to go to school and sit down and learn from the teacher, but there has to be an interpreter. There also has to be, they have to be positioned in places where they're able to see the teacher correctly, because some of them can lip read. And so positioning and even providing the resources that they need in order to access education, because giving them that opportunity is one thing, but inclusion really involves so much more than just giving them access to that education. How are you going to provide structures to enable them to succeed in that schooling that you provided for them? And so I think both are very important aspects that need to be put together in order to bring the success that we want to have at the end of the day.
Because the infrastructure and personnel for that is also important to make sure that it's inclusive.
Absolutely.
And you know, girls already face maybe hindrances or barriers that can include domestic responsibilities, poverty. There's also cases of early pregnancies. And you know, and when it comes now to being abled differently, there could be cases of stigma, inaccessible infrastructure, all those hindrances. So how much more difficult is the education journey? How is it, especially when it comes to gender, when gender and disability now intersect?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, that intersectionality actually forms the basis upon which we do our work at Elimisha Binti Initiative. Because when I started, one of the things I looked at, I did my research to find out how accessible is education for girls who have disabilities. And as you mentioned, there's that intersection between disability and gender. But other than that, there's economic disparities. And there's also colorism and everything. Like the isms are so many that come together. And so those different intersectional identities, they create so many barriers. First of all, we live in a patriarchal community, and it's not just in Kenya, it's worldwide. And then now we come to our Kenyan community, and then other than our Kenyan community, we go to the rural areas. And so you find that patriarchy is something that is very strong in such areas. So you'll find that the girl child, in the first instance, the parents or guardians of these girls do not believe that girls need to go to school, or there's not so much importance placed on it. And so my research found that in some families you find that the parents would rather bring up the boy child to school and leave the girl child. And then other than that, now comes this girl child with a disability. So that added layer really creates so many barriers that prevent them from getting equal access into education and even other spheres of life.
And culture has played a role in it.
Absolutely. Culture, yes.
Especially when it comes to stigma of girls or those who are able differently.
Absolutely.
And speaking of the rural dimension, you know, a girl living with this disability in an urban center may have probably access to specialized schools, assistive technology, that may be unavailable in the rural areas. So how does geography determine the education opportunities available now to girls with disabilities in the country?
Absolutely, I hear you, and that's a very good question. Because if you look at the urban centers like Nairobi right now, when I go to different schools in Nairobi, much as some of the schools have facilities, a lot of schools, especially government schools, do not have adequate facilities. And so when you go to the rural areas, the situation is even exacerbated, particularly I think because of the economic status of the people who live in the rural communities. And so I've seen schools where children are still learning under the trees, the classrooms with no windows, no blackboard and all of that. And so I believe that I don't believe, but I do know that in the rural communities, for sure, there's not enough resources that can adequately educate not just a child without disability, but now the ones with disabilities are even more impacted because of lack of access to those basic supports that they need to find in a basic classroom that you see in the urban areas as compared to the rural areas.
So for them, probably when we say basic education is free, for them it's not really free, because if in the rural areas the parents has to meet some needs, then that becomes another problem.
It becomes a problem. It becomes a big problem because, for instance, the girls that we sponsor through Elimisha Binti Initiative, these are girls who are coming from very economically disadvantaged backgrounds, and you find that the fee that they pay for boarding school, I believe it's around 60,000 Kenyan shillings, but the government covers a huge part of it. And so the small part that is left, which is approximately $150, or I'd say around 15,000 Kenyan shillings, not so many of them can afford that. Even that 15,000 shillings, the little portion that has been left for them, they cannot really afford that. And so that's how we come in. And we find that with our little resources that we have, we are able to pay for them and they can access school in that way.
And speaking of that initiative, you focus on deaf and hard of hearing girls, especially in rural areas of the country, and you provide support, as you have said. Through that model, what does it reveal about the kind of barriers a girl must overcome before education can actually become an empowering experience?
The kind of barriers that they need to overcome.
Yes, before that education we are talking about become an experience, an empowering experience. As we had mentioned earlier, they have those intersectional identities that they have to go through each and every single day. So they have to overcome gender bias. They have to overcome disability, the bias that concerns disability, or the stereotypes that come with a disability. And they also have to overcome economic challenges that
bar them from accessing these basic education needs that they have. And so I believe any organization or any government that comes in from the aspect of wanting to support these girls must come in that aspect, like looking at the whole child and finding out how best they can support them in terms of finances, in terms of disability awareness, and in terms of even gender equity and providing balance in all aspects of their lives so that they are also able to equitably participate in the community.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's also like a targeted initiative which can transform the life of a person, especially a girl able differently. But then again, it cannot replace a national education system.
Absolutely.
Where should we draw the line between what we can do realistically and what ultimately remains as the responsibility of the government?
I think the education of any child is the responsibility of the government. I mean, in every country that you go to, the education of the child is the responsibility of the government. And our government has done so much. As I told you, for instance, the fees that those girls pay, the government is already paying about 80% of it. So the little percentage that is left is the responsibility of the parents. And so I believe the government still needs to come in. It is their responsibility. But we also have the private sectors. Just as we try to provide the little support that we can in order to supplement what the government is providing. We're not supplanting. In other words, we're not taking over the role of the government, but we're just supplementing. How best can we support these people who are so forgotten? Because they're girls, they're disabled, and so we are trying to break those barriers so that they can also have this access to the big cake that the government is providing. How much more can we support them in order to benefit more from this cake that everybody's having?
Very important. And that also brings about the aspect of mentorship and confidence and also aspirations.
Absolutely.
And you know, financial support can put a girl in school. But then again, mentorship can influence whether she believes she belongs there and what she imagines doing after school. So how important is this representation in changing the aspirations of girls who are abled differently?
In terms of mentorship?
Yes.
So mentorship is one of the aspects that we do at Elimisha Binti Initiative. We are not just providing financial support, but we are also providing Christian mentorship. And we are also providing personal hygiene items, because we're not just going to bring a child to school who does not see a role model somewhere that may inspire them, so that when they finish school, they may want to be like that person who was mentoring them. And we also do not want to bring a child to school who does not have lotion to put on her body, or who does not have bathing soap to wash her body. And so we are providing this holistic approach, but mentorship is a very big piece. And we term it Christian mentorship because we really think, we feel that having these children develop not just physically, their spiritual lives need to be taken care of as well. And so we come in through that aspect, but we also bring in deaf individuals who have been successful, who have gone through school and who have been employed.
Inspiration.
Inspiration, exactly. So we have a few who have gone through our system and they're already working. So anytime we're going to do our mentorship sessions, we bring them with us. And they're able to talk to the girls. They're able to see like, hey, this was a girl just like me, going to the same school as I, and she graduated and right now she's working. And so it's a very, very big piece of it that we really focus on as well.
You know, sometimes there are societal expectations, sometimes unconsciously, that lowers expectations of children and even girls with disabilities. That is what I want us to talk about once we come back from this short break. Stay with us.
I don't understand women. 1 minute you're all nice and cuddly. The next minute you don't want it. What exactly do you want, woman?
Marvin is actually very supportive.
Oh, really? Do you go to church?
Are you saying that I'm a weapon fashioned against you?
You tell me.
It suits you.
You know, this side of you scares me.
No, don't be scared. I can be nice.
That's easy, Marvin.
Okay, Yasin, please calm down. Calm down.
How do you expect me to calm down, Marvin?
Yasin, calm down so that we get to know exactly what happened.
Yasin.
Hey, Yasin.
Yasin.
Sasa unaweza kupokea stesheni ya KBC Eastern Service kwa njia iliyomurwa baada ya KBC kuboresha na kuwekeza mitambo mipya ya kisasa ya kupeperusha matangazo. Pata matangazo kwa lugha ya Burji kila siku kuanzia saa 11 asubuhi hadi saa 4 asubuhi. Rendile Service itakuwa hewani kuanzia saa 4 asubuhi hadi saa 9 jioni. Kisha matangazo kupitia lugha ya Kiborana itachukua usukani kuanzia saa 9 hadi saa 2 usiku. Kutufungia jamvi ni Turukana Service watakaopeperusha matangazo yao kuanzia saa 2 usiku hadi saa 6 usiku. KBC Eastern Service inapatikana Lodwar na maeneo yaliyo karibu kupitia 98.3 FM. Na kwa wasikilizaji wa Burji, Rendile na Borana waliomo Marsabit na maeneo jirani, KBC Eastern Service inapatikana kwa mita bendi 98.7 FM.
All right, welcome back. We're still talking about empowering girls with disabilities through education with Dr. Winnie Koko, who is the founder of Elimisha Binti Initiative. Now, what should we do differently if we are going to achieve this empowerment for girls who are able differently? What should we do differently as a country?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think as a country, there are so many opportunities for improvement that are there. Elimisha Binti Initiative may be doing just a little portion. We could be just a grain of sand in the ocean. But then the larger responsibility relies with our government and also our community. And so I think what needs to happen, first of all, is for us to provide the basics of education. Because you're not going to educate a child who is learning under a tree. We're not going to be able to make better the life of a child who goes to school without meals. And so how are we providing these basic requirements in order to have a child who can fully participate in the classroom and have the mental fortitude to stay in that classroom? But then other than providing those basic amenities and basic items, we need as a government as well to improve on our systems of monitoring and compliance, particularly when it comes to special education laws and regulations. I think it's a very important part. For instance, going in to see how the teachers are implementing special education. How are they following up with the needs of children with disabilities, and how are these needs being monitored at the government level in order to see what improvements can be made to improve the lives of these children while they're going through school. And also the other big thing I think is advocacy, especially when it comes to the education of people with disabilities. You find that oftentimes the community do not have awareness of what a disability is, or even if they do not have that in-depth knowledge of how to support people with disabilities. I think you watch this comedian who at one time got a child who had been chained for a very long time. And so instances like that is just one instance. But there are so many of them out there. And so I believe with advocacy and proper messaging being put out there about people with disabilities and what they can actually do, I think it would be very important and will change the community's aspect or perspective of persons who are able differently in order to bring out positive outcomes for all of them.
Very important. Everybody has a role to play in that aspect.
Yes.
Should we establish specific national targets for maybe enrollment, retention and completion of transition of girls with disabilities instead of allowing them to disappear with broader education statistics?
Yes, exactly. And that is where compliance comes in. we have to have laws and regulations that really take care of the plight of persons who are able differently. And of course, laws that go deeper into looking at the layers of identities that they have in order to be able to provide the needs that they have. But then it all boils down to compliance. How well are they implementing these policies and procedures, and how well are they following up with implementation? And so I believe that if it's looked at from that aspect, we're really going to have good results for persons with disabilities who are going through schooling. Yeah.
And finally, how should an all-inclusive education system look like? And I'll take that as your closing remark.
Yeah, absolutely. So I believe a whole inclusive education system must look at the whole child. Are you providing for the emotional needs of this child? Are you providing for the financial needs of this child? Are you providing for the physical needs of this child? So looking at all those aspects, we need to, even when we're developing our laws and regulations that pertain to the education of all children, we have to look at all those 4 aspects, which I believe our government does have, but there's always room for improvement. We have to put everything in place, look at all those laws and regulations, and put in structures in place for proper implementation. Because you may have very good laws and regulations in place, but if you do not have a good implementation plans, it may not really work. So you have to have better compliance system. We have to have better accountability systems so that everything is monitored, and also ensuring that that finances and any other thing that is needed in order to implement these regulations in a proper way are also provided. Yes.
Thank you so much for making time.
Yeah.
That was our time, and we have been talking to Dr. Winnie Koko, who is the founder of Elimisha Binti Initiative, been talking about how we can empower girls able differently through education. This conversation ends right now, but I want us to cross over to Naivasha, where the UDA ODM retreat is happening, and our reporter is on the ground. Hashim Abdiaziz is on site. Tell us what is happening so far about that retreat. Hashim?
Well, thank you so much, Mike, and good morning all the way from the Lake Naivasha Resort in Naivasha constituency, Nakuru County. Today is a Sunday morning. Of course, following that height is over 48 hours of deliberations between the broad-based government, which makes up of the Kenya Kwanza administration and luminaries from the UDA party, as well as the Orange Democratic Movement, that is the ODM branch led by the Siaya Senator Dr. Oburu Oginga. And of course, the deliberations yesterday went into the evening. They had conversations surrounding how they can formalize, of course, after announcing that particular team that will be leading the 10-member team of UDA and ODM that will be focusing on creating a manifesto, which the president and the ODM leader clearly stated that will be focusing on the key interests of Kenyans, their shared issues in a number of areas, including the health sector, agriculture, education, and among other key sectors which the current administration has been focusing on, and of course also formalizing that particular unionship that they have, with the president clearly stating that this started off after 2022 when he reached out to the late Prime Minister, that is Raila Amolo Odinga. Yesterday he confirmed that when he was hosting that particular delegation of over 300 leaders who converged here at the Lake Naivasha Resort for that particular meeting. And of course, what even the president updated that particular conglomeration of leaders is on the progress that the broad-based government has made over the last 2 years or so in key sectors, of course, boasting of what the administration has been able to implement after the broad-based bore fruit in terms of agreements. And even you heard one time the ODM leader, that is Oburu Oginga, clearly stating that as and when they came into that particular outfit, it aided the current administration to at least ensure that their pledges and implementation of key sectors, including from the constructions of roads and other key development sectors, are being adhered to at the end of the day. But the key question here, Mike, this particular morning is the coalition team, and of course that has been the political discourse, both on and offline. And even as we're waiting for that particular formalization, but President William Ruto clearly stated that him and the ODM leader, that is Oburu Oginga, clearly stated that they will ensure that they will announce that particular team. Remember, that particular team is very crucial to how the broad-based government will be moving forward. And even after their coalition talks, it will mean how they'll move into the 2027 general election with barely 364 days from that particular fateful day. Now, if they talk about that particular progress in terms of their leadership structure, in terms of what they will be presenting and key positions and how it will be shared among those particular leadership structure, with the president clearly stating that the more important issue right now is the Vision 2060 that is expected to start a conversation tomorrow at the capital, at the heart of this particular country, the formalization of a new development charter that transcends Vision 2030, with barely 4 years to the conclusion of Vision 2030, as and when it was launched by the late president, that is Mwai Kibaki, back in 2008, with the president clearly stating that that particular vision was launched even before the 2010 constitution, necessitating that particular vision that the president is currently pushing for, and which they clearly announced yesterday that it will be fully participated by both sides of the broad-based coalition, is to ensure that it is anchored under law and people-centered at the end of the day. That has been what bone of contention that the president has been focusing on at the end of the day. But also, we have been focusing on listening to some of the people who have been around here telling us that the members of parliament today will be focusing on concluding any business that has been outstanding in this particular area before they head over back to the capital, because you do remember that a number of committees have been called for today by the clerk and the majority leader who yesterday spoke, both majority leaders of the National Assembly and the Senate, in terms of the key resolutions the parliament is currently focusing on at the end of the day. Also, before we take you back to Mike Mwigwe, we're waiting to see the itinerary for today, and we want to see how it will pan out at the end of the day before the lawmakers are able to go back to the capital to continue with their day-to-day business ahead of tomorrow. I told you tomorrow is very crucial for this particular administration in terms of that particular new development charter that is expected to be canvassed, with the president clearly stating it will be people-centered and not government-centered at the end of the day, so that it can serve the needs of Kenyans at the end of the day. But more importantly, what was the key takeaway yesterday and even in the evening session, where the president had to have an tete-a-tete with the over 300 leaders who had conglomerated here, is that the focus is on August 2027, and of course clearly even taking a swipe at the opposition, telling the people, the leaders here, that the alternative leaves a lot to desire. We're keeping an eye here, and as and when we get more details, we'll be updating you. Back to you, Mike.
Thank you so much, Abdi Aziz Hashim, coming to us live from Lake Naivasha Resort, where the broad-based Lions is having a retreat. We shall be bringing you updates of what is happening over there in our subsequent broadcast. But right now, I want us to come back and talk about matters that relate to teenagers, and we are looking at hidden in plain sight, spotting early warning signs of and peer pressures. And this is with regard to matters that pertain to substance abuse. And given that data from NACADA indicates that substance use initiation can occur during the age of 13 to 15 years. So why is this age susceptible susceptible to this? And for that conversation, I'm joined by Joseph Odhiambo Odago, who is a substance abuse professional. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Karibu sana, and thank you for making time.
Welcome.
Yes. And now let's get into the conversation. You know, schools may be on recess, yes, but you know, the pressures facing children, especially school-going children, do not take a break. So what behavioral changes should parents pay close attention to, especially during this period that children are at home and they can distinguish a genuine warning sign from a normal adolescent behavior?
Thank you very much. for the invitation. Thank you very much, the viewers. First of all, I'm Joseph Odhiambo. I'm the chair and the founder of Reform Uishi Poa, which is an organization that advocates against substance abuse. And I'm also a prevention professional trained by NACADA and other international organizations.
Yes.
I'm also a member of International Society of Substance Professionals, globally, and also Kenyan chapter. Before we go even to the early signs of substance abuse, we've talked about the status or prevalence of substance abuse in our country. The statistics that was done by NACADA in the year 2022 says that it's about 4 million people who are going through substance and drug abuse. So this is a very big number. And from here, I had also the president also lauded it and also spoke about it very strongly. The president, President Ruto, spoke about it strongly. So it's something that is, it's a calamity, it's a danger. And the most group that is being affected is at the age of 25 to 35, which is a very productive age, you see, in our nation. So that tells you that in 1 out of 5 youth, one of them is using one drug at the same time. But you see now, the initiation moment, it's even lower than even what you've mentioned, 16 years of age.
13 to 15 years.
13 to 15 years. It's even lower. It's at the age of 6.
6 years.
6 years. At the age of 6 years, your boy, your girl child, has started to know either smoking, either cigarette or an alcohol or any substance around. Why? It is because it happens because maybe in the house, in your house, maybe the maid, the shamba boy, the neighbors are using it. So it starts as early as that. And because of this, I would urge parents also to also put an emphasis on prevention, getting to know how to, what are the challenges, what are the early warning signs, and how they can tackle these in their families and also the teachers in schools and even at workplaces.
If parents are to prevent these cases from happening, what strategies should they employ?
One of the strategies that they should employ, they should learn to know the early signs. And that is why I'm doing prevention. I do prevention at home, in schools, at working place, and also in the community. And in prevention, we talk about how you can stop and reduce and also the taking of substance abuse. And that one involves the early signs and the peer pressure that have come also to discuss here. So one of the things that they can learn is that they need to learn on the early signs. A child comes up at the age of 6, there are certain queer behaviors that starts with
Examples?
the child, which were not there. One of the queer lifestyle is that the child just starts to be arrogant. He never used to be arrogant, or she never used to be arrogant. She changes, or he changes her attitudes, and moods also changes. You know, substance abuse alters the nervous system, and it changes moods and how the child behaves. So that is one of them. Another one is changes in school, at work. The child drops the performance. There's a boy, there's a girl who used to perform very well, and all of a sudden the performance stops and goes down drastically. So when a parent sees these, there are several of them. Another one is changes in friends and social relationship. You find somebody or a boy who never used to visit your house, or a group of teens who never used to visit your house, now they are coming into your house. And when you ask about them, the child becomes irritated, or he or she doesn't want to explain who are these. Those are some of the changes. And number 4 is physical signs. There are also some of the physical signs. You find that the child never had used never to have dents, or maybe you used to clean himself very well. But now, at one point, the child becomes rugged and sometimes dirty, doesn't want to take shower, comes home with injuries. These are some of the signs that should be noticed. Eye, you find sometimes the eye changes, it turns to be red, or slur talking. The child doesn't talk the way he or she used to talk. Though these signs are not majorly that when you see them,
you will
the
recognize
child
them.
is using substance of abuse. Some of these signs may come as a result of stress, depression, or maybe the child is going through something in the family. So it's upon the parent not to victimize, not to judge, but to call the child in a meeting and inquire, what is it that is happening with you? Nowadays, you're not doing this and you used to do this. Can you tell us what is happening? Is there anything that you need us to discuss about in the family? So you don't judge and you don't victimize.
And that approach is very important in identifying what is going on.
Exactly.
And you know, sometimes a child becoming more private is not necessarily a problem. But then again, adolescence naturally comes with sometimes, you know, desire for independence.
Yeah.
At what point does now increased privacy become a sign that something is going on?
You know, at a point whereby the child doesn't want to come out or that somebody that doesn't want to come out of he or her bedroom.
Yes.
He stays in the bedroom the whole day. Or maybe at night, the person doesn't want to sleep. The sleep pattern has changed. And you see, this one can cause a problem because stays awake at night, the whole night, sleeps during the day. And that one was not normal, maybe at our early stages. This one can call an alarm, cause an alarm, ask, why are you staying awake at night? And you're supposed to be sleeping or sleeping very late at night, you see. Yeah.
And peer pressure, you know, it's often displayed as telling, maybe a friend telling another friend, you know, try this.
Yeah.
The aspect of maybe trying to fit in. And it can be a little bit subtle, depending on how it's done. What are some of the less obvious forms of peer pressure that parents should look out for?
Now, I think we have not exhausted, sorry to take you back.
Yes.
We have not exhausted maybe the early warning signs. One of them is about finance. And when the child starts using alcohol or substance abuse, you will find that he or she will tend to be borrowing more, ask for finance frequently, or valuable things, items are starting to disappear in the house because the child doesn't have money, so he will pick your phone, sell it out, sell his own items. You see, those are also some early signs. Now, changes in daily routines also. So, going back to peer pressure. Peer pressure is an influence where you find a group of friends are tending to influence one person or your child to become the way they are. If they don't become the way they are, he's being labeled and called names.
So there's that aspect of trying to fit in.
Exactly. So the child will try to fit in. You're childish, you're weak, you see? You're not part of us. So the child will tend now to fit into the group. That is what now brings the peer pressure. Now, there are some triggers that brings the peer pressure, the desire to belong. They're growing up in a society, in the vicinity, in a community, in school. The child will now want to have a sense of belonging. I also want to be part of this team, part of this group, and feel the way they feel. That is also one of the triggering factors of peer pressure. Yeah.
And when we are living in a time when the phone has effectively become another social environment for young people, how should parents respond when a child is physically present at home and spending hours in online spaces where they may encounter different problems and even matters of cyberbullying?
I think parents should connect first of all with their children at home. In substance abuse, there's what we call working families and unworking families. And you find that most of the unworking families that are not working are the families whereby you don't know what your child is doing. You don't know what he's thinking. But in the working, and that one, the families that are not working, makes it very difficult for you to follow your child and to know what, at a certain point, what he's doing, either with their phone or in other things, the social media. But in the working family, the parents tend to connect with their children, and it's a connected family, and they assist one another, and somebody is given an environment even to express him or herself. So in that situation, you will follow. You can even ask John, you've been on phone for a long time. What are you doing? What are the sites that you're visiting? And because the child is also free with you, he or she will be free to explain to you, these are the sites that I'm visiting, and these are the things that I'm doing, you see. Because you're also following, the mom is following, and the dad is also following closely what they are doing with their phones.
And parents should not be afraid to limit screen time.
Yes.
And access to the internet.
Yes. Yes. The times that you also have to have a boundary. It's time now to do your studies. Please put down your phones, and this is study time, and you cannot now be on your phones. Yeah. And also parents also can also know the age where their children are now supposed to access phones. Not every child is, not every age group is supposed to access phones. Yeah.
And you know, more often than not, quote unquote, bad company is often associated with how a child behaves, especially if the behavior is not going as expected. But also, aspects of home environment can influence susceptibility to effects of drug abuse. How might these experiences now shape how a child relates with others, and especially resulting to drug abuse?
Exactly. That is a good question. You know, I've talked about working families. And in working families, that is where these things do occur in various families. Whether low, middle, or high class, they occur in our country or even outside our country, internationally or locally. But if you have a working family, the working family relationship between mom and dad will be key. How mom and dad relate in their family or in their relationship. So in our social and economical relationship should be key. Social relationship should be very much okay. And the way the parents are relating will impact so much on how the children will also behave and relate to them. In a case whereby a family, there are quarrels, dad and mom, they don't agree, they don't see eye to eye, that gives a room for the children now to do whatever they want to do at home. And it might go very far before you detect that our children have indulged themselves into substance abuse. And number two, also, parents also must be also role models. Role models of their children. You know, you find that dad is smoking at home, mom is also drinking at home. What do you expect? What are the children going to follow? They will emulate, they will start knowing this. They are exposed to substance abuse at a very early age. And that one can impact to our children negatively and to the society. And also maybe environment. We are staying whereby the family is staying at a place where there are joints, there are places children can access substance of abuse, alcohol and tobacco easily. That one can also affect the life of children.
And there's also a risk when it comes to how parents respond to warning signs, often with surveillance and punishment. Checking phones, imposing restrictions on movement, confronting the child aggressively. So my question to you is, at what point can discipline become counterproductive? And how can parents maintain boundaries while still creating those environments where the child feels free enough to disclose a problem?
You know, when it comes to discipline, there are many ways you can discipline your child. It's not necessarily that you use a cane, though the Bible says spare the rod and you spoil the child. But, you know, we are in a different era. We are in a different dispensation where children are also They are educated.
Yes.
They know what they're supposed to do. They know their rights at the early stage. So I would prefer that at home, parents should form an environment, a conducive environment, where the children can come up and express themselves freely and be heard.
Yes.
And also they create an environment where they can talk with the children freely, do life skills, go out, walk together, run together, have some talks. You see now, have some talks, they have a general talks, ask some questions. And also, I think that is quite powerful than taking a cane. In our old days, we were used to be beaten. And some of the beatings made us to be very hard, because I would do something knowing that, I'll just be caned and it will be over. So we became very hard on those things, and we could even do more of those things. I know you went through that at your age. So I think at this age, the children of today, they listen to what they're being told. They access social media. They know what is happening around the society.
Yes.
We were naive by then. We couldn't even know. We didn't know our rights. So I think parents should create a conducive environment and give children a space to express themselves and create dialogues and bring things like life skills.
Create dialogues. Yes. Very important aspect. We are going to look at mental health difficulties when we come back from this short break. Stay with us.
The wait is over. KBC Iko Huduma Center. Starting with Nairobi, kupata huduma za KBC imekuwa rahisi. From digital guidance and signet services to booking of commercial adverts and documentaries. Visit our dedicated desks at Huduma Center GPO, Times Square, Makadara, Kibera, or Eastleigh. Tunakungoja hapo. Whether it's a casual announcement or a specialized media solution for your business, we are here to serve you. KBC at Huduma Centers, moving closer to you. Your station, your service.
Gina! Gina! Aki watoto wa siku hizi wakiwa nasumbua. Usikose kuona Gundu KBC Channel 1 every Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Ujionee hivi vituko vya watoto wa siku hizi wanaosumbua wazazi na mengine mengi. Keep it Gundu. Gina!
Many thanks for staying with us right here on KBC Channel 1. You're watching Good Morning Kenya. Here we are dealing with matters of spotting early warning signs and peer pressure. And this is with regard to substance abuse. And, you know, Joseph, when it comes to these cases, mental health difficulties can sometimes manifest differently. We are talking about irritability, withdrawal, anger, loss of interest, and so many other things. So if a parent sees that, how can they tell the difference between ordinary teenage mood changes and also signs that a child may need psychological support?
Thank you. Thank you very much. You know, in prevention, prevention involves taking care of the emotional and mental well-being. So that is a psychological effect that when you see your child behaving in a queer habits or changes moods, all of a sudden becomes irritative. If you had created a good environment for the child to express himself, you will know what is happening. But in a situation whereby, if it's just a normal case whereby the child is turning into teenage, sometimes they just close themselves, especially the girl child. Just find she's just quiet, and that is normal. But at a point whereby the child now doesn't want to explain herself or himself, that one can raise eyebrows. At a point where the child now doesn't even, when you ask one question, the child becomes irritated and doesn't want even to cooperate. That one can cause an alarm, and you decide now to go deeper into it. And that is when now you bring the child on a table, a round table, and try to talk with the child. What would you like us to discuss? Because that one is now above, it's overboard. In a normal situation, the child will just say, I'm okay.
Yeah.
And if you ask a question, he or she will explain herself or himself freely and express himself very well. But at a point whereby the child now becomes so much irritative, and you look at the siblings, the way he or she also is behaving with other siblings, becoming big-headed when he neglecting her chores in the family, and also doesn't want to make his bed or her bed, doesn't want to wash utensils, doesn't want to do normal routines at home, that one can raise an alarm. And that one will cause the parents now to go deeper, talk to the child, or even bring a professional. And that is why us as preventionists, we come in because we can detect what you cannot detect as a parent. We can see the signs deeper, what the parent cannot see. Remember, the parent is not trained, and it's not good to involve a professional in that line.
And, you know, schools are closed, and I'll take this as your closing remarks. You know, children are at home, no school, it's closed. And you know, prevention is not only about detecting these signs that we are talking about. What should parents do to ensure that their children are in an environment where they are not susceptible to getting into these problems of substance abuse?
They should sit down with their children at this moment, so much, have time with them, create life skill, come up with prevention programs, and also invite professionals who are in prevention at their homes to talk to their children when they are not around. They should be watchful on who is visiting at home. You see, who is our shamba boy or our maid associating with at home? Because it's also at this time that they get involved into, they get indulged into substance abuse so much. They should also watch, have some boundary, because this is the time parties and gatherings are so much and they're rampant. They should limit those parties and gatherings. They should limit their children to attend such parties and gatherings. Yeah.
Parents should not bring their guard down. Thank you so much for making time to come and talk about this very important issue. That has been Joseph Odhiambo Odago, who is a substance abuse professional. We have been talking about spotting these early warning signs, especially when it comes to substance abuse amongst the teenagers and adolescents. This is where this conversation ends. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Mike Migwe. Vivian Ndegwa is up next with Health Tuesday. Stay with us.
I don't understand women. 1 minute you're all nice and cuddly. The next minute you don't want it. What exactly do you want, woman?
Marvin is actually very supportive.
Oh, really? Do you go to church?
Are you saying that I'm a weapon fashioned against you?
You tell me.
It suits you.
You know, this side of you scares me.
No, don't be scared. I can be nice.
That's easy, Marvin.
Okay, Yasin, please calm down. Calm down.
How do you expect me to calm down, sir? Marvin?
Yasin, calm down so that we get to know exactly what happened.
Yasin.
Hey, Yasin.
Yasin.
Yes.
Lights on, volume up. This is where stories come alive. From local drama that hits close to home
Alinivamia akiwa na vijana wengine wawili.
Toka nje.
Mimi nyumba yako.
Yote ni porojo.
To international series everyone's talking about. Stories that pull you in. Characters you won't forget.
Stop complaining and just get out of here. Go now. Go, go.
We turn up the volume with music that moves, showcases rising stars, and bring the beat straight to your living room. And when it's time to talk, we don't hold back.
How is everything going?
Real conversations, big personalities, the issues, the loves, the moment everyone's debating the next day. Every show, every night, different voices, one destination. This is television that feels alive, unpredictable, and missable.
And thank you for staying with us. Right now, we get into Matters Health. Healthy living is the segment that we are about to have right now. And today's conversation is a conversation that we need to have. Well, when you hear of prostate, many a times, what comes to mind is prostate cancer. But what about prostate enlargement? What exactly is that? How do you get to know if you have prostate enlargement? What is the correlation between the prostate enlargement and cancer? Do they have a correlation? Can they exist at the same time? And all those other questions. And I'm more than glad because today we have someone who can answer all these for us. So we have our numbers that you can be able to ask any questions concerning prostate and enlargement or prostate cancer. The urologist in studio today is ready and very able to answer all those questions. That is Jackson Ngeshu, who is a urologist at the Alma Health Clinic. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you here this morning.
Thank you very much, Vivian, for hosting me. As you have mentioned my name, I'm Dr. Jackson, a urologist from Alma Health Clinic. And today I want us to talk about something that men actually hide from. Or they fear talking about it or going to the clinic to get the medication.
All right. And just to put it out there, you can be able to send your questions. As the doctor has put it, many men do not like to talk about it. But, you know, when you send your questions to us, we're not going to read your name, so you can be free to just ask the doctor your questions. The number is right there on your screens, 0707-303-212. He'll be answering those questions for you. Let's begin by first highlighting or defining what prostate enlargement is, and then you also define prostate cancer and what's the difference between the two.
Okay, but first of all, before we define the prostate enlargement and the cancer, let's first of all start with the prostate. What is a prostate?
Amazing. Go ahead.
The prostate is found just below the bladder. The urethra cuts in between the prostate, and most of the time, there is the prostate. Many people know the bad thing about the prostate, but not the good. Function of the prostate is to produce semen and to nourish the sperms. That one is actually many people don't know about it. But now when it comes to the disadvantages of the prostate, there is where you get the prostate enlargement, prostate cancer, and prostatitis. That is the inflammation of the prostate. Yes. So with the prostate enlargement, that is when you find now the prostate it becomes enlarged and tends to squeeze on the urethra, the passage of the urine. Now, most of the time, it may happen due to the hormonal changes or age. That is what mostly it talks about it. Okay, with the cancer, now that one is something now totally different. Cancer, you have to go to the clinic, go checked, go do an MRI or do a PCA, prostate specific antigen test, so that you can differentiate between the two. So I've forgotten to mention something. Women don't have the prostate. It's only found in men. So most of the time when we are talking about both the enlargement and the cancer, you'll tend to find the symptoms are almost similar. But with the cancer, there are those signs that you'll find they are quite different.
Yeah, I want us to get into that because you mentioned that the symptoms are almost the same. The signs and symptoms are almost the same.
Yes.
That is when you talk about prostate enlargement
Yeah.
and the prostate cancer.
Yeah.
So how can one be able to differentiate? If you can just, line those for us, help us understand the signs and symptoms and how they may differ. How can I know between the two?
Generally, with the enlargement, it's much easier to note the difference or the symptoms rather than the cancer. You see, with the enlargement, it will come with the blockage of the urine.
Okay.
When you go to the toilet, you'll find that you have difficulty in urinating, dribbling, or still the urine flow is not quite okay. So with the cancer, it might come as the same, but that one, now the major sign with the cancer, maybe the urine flow, blood in the urine. Now that one is the major sign with it. But with that one, generally, the best thing is just to go and have a checkup.
Yeah.
So that you can differentiate both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the signs and symptoms are just the same, more or less the same.
They're more or less the same, but generally you can, with the enlargement, that one is easy to note. Yeah, but majorly when we talk about the enlargement and the cancer, it will start eating up from the age of 45 and above, the risk factors.
Okay.
Yes.
So when it comes to the enlargement, when you talk about the prostate enlargement, how one can be able to know that maybe they may be having that. Many a times it's because of how frequent they get to urinate. That's the main way to find out.
Yeah.
So how frequent is frequent? Is it that you are urinating too many times?
No.
And is it that you are not urinating at all? And when you talk about urinating a lot, I may just be a good, drinker of water. I may just be hydrating properly. So where do I draw the line between this is normal urination and there may be a problem?
Now that one's a good question which many listeners at home should now sit down and watch and listen. You see, at times when we talk about urinating frequently, we focus majorly at night. How many times do you wake up to go and urinate?
At night.
Yes. And again, when I say urinating frequently, note still there are diseases that can give the same symptom. Like a person who has diabetes can give also the same symptoms.
Yeah.
So it does not generally mean or rely that when you urinate frequently, you have the prostate enlargement.
Okay.
Yes. So
and no urination at all? Is that also a symptom?
That's also a symptom because when it has already enlarged, now it will block the passage of the urine. Yes, and then that one is a major problem now. Yes.
Okay. So is it preventable?
Okay, prevention generally no, because most of the time when it comes, we have spoken about the hormones,
Yeah.
the hormonal changes and age.
Yes.
But okay, with it, we cannot factor in and say prostate enlargement or prostate cancer is caused by this and this. Yes, but according to age and according to the hormonal changes, you can generally say it starts from there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for someone who has prostate enlargement,
Yeah.
should they be in fear of it developing to prostate cancer? Is there a correlation?
No, there's no any correlation. Prostate enlargement is prostate enlargement and prostate cancer is something totally different. There's no way prostate enlargement will come to be prostate cancer. They are totally different things.
Okay.
You can have prostate cancer in which it can be treated if it is detected early. And you can also have prostate enlargement in which when it's detected early or it is asymptomatic, you can live with it. Yes, unless now the symptoms come up and they start causing discomfort in your body.
All right, so someone can live with prostate enlargement without knowing they have it. It can be asymptomatic, whereby there is no symptom whatsoever.
Yes, you can have the prostate enlargement with no symptoms, but okay, regular checkup is okay. It's good because you can have the prostate enlargement and still you can have the cancer. Yeah, so the checkup is quite okay.
Yeah.
Regularly check up.
Yeah. So
Yes.
are there effects when it goes without getting checked for long?
Okay, there are men who come to our clinics, they complain about, first of all, there is premature ejaculation, the urinary problems which comes up with it.
Yeah.
And the urinary problems, actually, when we talk about that, see, like people who frequently get the UTIs, it's not that it's a symptom accustomed to or related to the prostate enlargement.
Yeah.
That one is something totally different.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I want to read a question that has just come in. Remember, you can be able to send in your questions and the doctor will answer them. The number is right there on your screen, 0707303212. Someone is saying, passing urine under 2 years now has been difficult for me. Painful and visiting the toilet several times at night. What could be the problem? I have silently dreaded checkup.
Just that we are, the same way that we have said men, I don't know if it's a woman or it's a man.
It's a man.
But mostly men, I guess they tend to fear to go for checkups. A man will have symptoms or problem urinating, but they'll just say that's normal, that's something that will happen, it will disappear. But majorly, the signs and symptoms are always there, but we fear to go for checkup. With that one, you can find maybe it's an infection. We cannot generally point at the blockage.
Okay.
You might find it's an infection, maybe it's a cyst, or something else. Yes.
Yeah.
But we cannot generally pinpoint and say that is an enlarged prostate. Because the same thing I will just repeat again, symptoms do what?
They vary.
Yeah, and majorly you might find there are symptoms that will reappear to other diseases.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so the best way to go about it is
The best way to go about it is go to the doctor, have your test, so that the doctor can read it to you. Yes.
Yeah, can verify what exactly the problem may be. So just how common is prostate enlargement in the country?
It's very common. It's just that people tend to hide or people tend not to go to visit their clinicians, their doctors, so that they can go and get checkup. Yeah, so when you hide about it, when you say everything is normal, you tend to how do we call it? It will get time before you realize that you are ailing from it.
Yeah,
yes.
It might take time. And you know, there's something you've also mentioned about the fear, and I may also call it an embarrassment. The embarrassment that one may have.
Yeah.
And I don't want to speak for men, but I'm assuming for some men, it may seem very invasive that I'm coming to the doctor to get checked, for my prostate to get checked. So there's the embarrassment that comes with that. Would you say that this is one of the reasons why, you know, even conditions like prostate cancer are diagnosed very late, you know, not in the first stage, not in the second stage. You know, from my research, it's usually diagnosed from the third stage.
Yeah.
Would you say that embarrassment is one of the reasons for that? And what would you say to your fellow men concerning that?
Embarrassment is one of the things, and the fear. Embarrassment comes in when you are going for a checkup and the doctor tells you, let's do a digital rectal examination. Nobody wants, generally men don't want to go there. You're told to remove your clothes, then they check, it's something that is checked from behind, so that they can ascertain the size of the prostate. But you see, generally you don't have to do all that. You can go and do a PCA test and it will give you the PCA readings. Yeah, like a person who is 40 years or a person who is 70 years, the readings are different. Yeah, so you don't have to do all that. Yeah, you don't have to hide from that. You can do an ultrasound, it will still give you the results. Yes. So generally men, let's come out, let's go to the clinic, let's go and find out what is ailing us. The major problem you see, many men will come to the clinic and they'll tell you, see doctor, I'm having this and this problem. I'm having an erectile problem, in which it can be still a sign there's something in you that is ailing you. Yeah.
All right. So best way to go about it, just go get checked.
Just
I mean,
go
I feel
check,
like
yeah.
that when you talk matters health, that is the best advice
That is the
one
best
can
advice.
give. Just
Yes.
do your regular checkups.
Yeah.
You know, and you've mentioned the causes being the hormonal changes and age being the main cause of these two. So when you talk about age, do you mean when one is aging, or when we talk about when pointing up on age specifically,
Yeah.
is there a specific age that is commonly associated with this condition?
Okay, generally when you talk about prostate enlargement, the prostate enlarges as men age. It's not you cannot call it as a condition that is there, but as men tend to age, the prostate enlarges.
Okay, naturally.
Naturally it enlarges. Now it becomes a problem. Now it affects the flow of the urine. Yes, now that is where we can say that's the problem. But with cancer generally, we can say both from 40 to 45 years of age, it can start now affecting you. Yes.
All right. Allow me to read another question here. And someone is saying, good morning, I am watching from Embu County. I have a problem with prolonged pain in the testicles. Even after kupimwa, those screenings, the results always come back as a positive. What could be the problem, please?
Thank you for the question. And again, you generally find men, they will come to the hospital and they will tell you, oh, daktari, prostate yangu imefura. They tend to think the prostate is the testicles, in which is so very different. Like he has mentioned there, he's saying the testicles, he has pain in the testicles. That one is something very different from the prostate. It can be something like the epididymocysts, which causes such. But the best thing to do, that the way he has told you, it always comes back with a positive. You should just go back to the same hospital, or you can change the hospital, go checked, and the doctor there will guide you on what to do, or they will do an ultrasound and they will give you a better report. Yes, rather than assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, allow me to read one more. They say the clinician should talk about LUTs. Or is it LUTs? I don't know what the proper pronunciation for that, the medical term for that is. So the clinician should talk about LUTs and how they can be an indicator for enlarged prostates.
You see, majorly when you talk about the enlarged prostate, we tend to look at the symptoms first. Okay, generally, we cannot, the same way I've talked about the symptom between the cancer and the enlargement, we cannot generally pinpoint and say, because you have the frequent urination at night, you are suffering from the enlargement. Not really. You have to go for a checkup. Actually, that is what I'm campaigning for. Every man, you should go for a checkup. If you are 40 years and above, that is the best thing to do. Just go for a checkup, and we shall, from there, everything, the symptoms and the signs will be there. It's the same way a car usually show you a check engine. Those are the symptoms now. Yes.
Yeah. So when it comes to, even as we are loud about, the checkups, are there specific people that you would advise to get these frequent checkups? So over 40 years, yes. Is there any other maybe way that you can say that these ones need to get frequent checkups?
When you talk about the frequent checkups, we can generally talk about the young still. There's something known as prostatitis, the inflammation of the prostate. Now that one tends to affect, let's say not the young, but generally can affect anyone. But when it comes to the enlargement and the cancer, now that generally from, let's say from 45 and above, those are, I can vouch for those ones to go and have regular checkups. Let's say once in a year, you can go do a PCA checkup. You can, as a man, we know men, we don't tend to have like birthday presents, but you can gift yourself like a checkup. Just go, check in, have the PSA test done to you, and at least you'll have something you'll forever be grateful about.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So age and hormonal change are the main causes for prostate enlargement. I don't know if this is a misconception. It's a good thing you're here for you to just clarify. So sitting for long hours can cause prostate enlargement. Is that true, or is that's just a misconception?
That's let's call it a myth.
Okay.
Misconception. Yeah. The same way that people talk about not having sexual intercourse for a very long time, it might cause prostate enlargement. That's also a myth.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not correlated with the prostate enlargement. It does not cause that.
Yeah. Are there any other misconceptions on the same that you would like to demystify?
Let's talk about people who, okay, you see, majorly people tend to go to these herbal medicines. Yeah? You're going for some concoctions that will affect you.
Yeah.
But generally, you don't know what you're taking. You're just going to a doctor, you're giving out your symptoms, no test is done, but you're given medication. You don't know what the medication is going to do. Yes.
Yeah.
Those are the leading causes that making many people get to lose. Okay, actually cancer is bad because it kills. Yeah, but when you go to a, let's say, to a herbal doctor, let's know, taking those concoctions, that one, okay, let's say you are sentencing yourself. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I had a question on the same, on the herbal remedies as well as supplements, because there are supplements that are said to assist, with prostate enlargement. Yeah.
Okay, I won't say they are no, but I would rather a person get checked so that the doctor can guide you on what to take and what to use. Because actually when your urine flow is not okay or it's not flowing well, there are medication that we tend to give, alpha blockers, so that the urine can flow better.
All right.
Yes.
Allow me to read more questions that are coming in. Someone is saying about prostate enlargement, any foods that we should avoid? And then another one here, which is almost the same. Why are prostate enlargement cases more in Africa compared with Asia? And are they maybe caused by what we eat? So let's address the lifestyle and specifically what we're eating. Are there foods that we should avoid? Could it be caused maybe by what we're eating?
About the prostate enlargement and the prostate cancer, we cannot pinpoint and say it's caused by this and this, but at least we can say with age or with the hormonal changes, it will be caused by that, or that we will tend to get that. He has asked about the, okay, you see, in Africa, majorly Africans, we tend to have those problems, the enlargement and the cancer, not like the Westerns. And generally the Asians, when you go there, the percentage is very low. Yes. So Africans, we are majorly affected with the enlargement and the cancer.
Okay.
Yes.
There are more questions coming in, but I'm seeing most of them are the same. And I think you've talked about it, but maybe you can speak further on it. This one is saying, hi, I'm Patrick from Kiambu. Is becoming sexually inactive a predisposing factor for prostate cancer? Another one on the same. Some studies have shown that being sexually active can reduce the risk of getting prostate cancer. How real is that? They're like 7 questions, 6 questions on the same. So if you can speak on that in relation to prostate cancer and then prostate enlargement.
Okay, first of all, I think the questions tend to rely more on one thing, the sexual activity. And okay, I've touched on it, but I will still do it again. You see, sexual activity does not, that's a myth. It does not, okay, staying for long without any sexual activity does not tend to make you have the prostate enlargement or the prostate cancer. But there are medication that you can be given for cancer or for the enlargement that will cause you now to be inactive in bed. Like a man, you'll be inactive in bed. Yes, but generally being inactive does not make you you can abstain. Don't go looking for women everywhere that you want to deal with the prostate enlargement or the cancer.
Yeah.
Yes. Just abstain and it will be okay. Just go for your checkups.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm sure that is answered because many of the questions coming in are on the same. I want us to get to answer as many as we can, so allow me to read maybe 2 more.
Yeah.
Someone here is saying, good morning, can staying for long without urinating when pressed make one prone to prostate enlargement? And then we're going to talk about the treatment options. Someone is asking for the treatment available for that. We'll get into that. And then another one is asking about the cost. So what's the cost of PCM and checkup? Let's begin by the one who asked about staying long or staying pressed for long without urinating. Does that make them prone to prostate enlargement?
Okay, with that one, staying for long without emptying your bladder is something that will generally cause that. First of all, you can get something like a UTI without emptying your bladder for long.
Okay.
And when you get something like a UTI, that's when now the UTI tends now to, or the urine tends now like flowing back, or the infection will tend now to flow back to the kidneys. Now, so that's why most of the time we tend to tell the patients or anyone watching from home, don't wait until you're pressed so that you go and empty your bladder. Do it as much as long as there's signs that your bladder wants to be emptied, just to go. You don't have to wait. Yes.
Does it make you prone?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Not prone to
prostate enlargement.
Not really.
To prostate cancer?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, just infections.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the treatment options available for prostate enlargement.
Prostate enlargement, first of all, it can be asymptomatic. You wouldn't need any medication.
Okay.
If it has any major symptoms or it's causing a discomfort, actually it can cause a discomfort that it generally blocks the urine flow. There is a majorly you can give you the alpha blockers, or we can tend to send you now to go and have surgery. Yeah, so that you can go and unblock it.
Okay.
Yes, so and that's why majorly you can find people using catheters so that the urine can flow out very well. Yes. Yeah.
So those are the options available.
Those are the options, but surgery is not necessary.
Okay.
Yes.
Can just be through medication.
It can be through medication, but surgery is almost when needed too. Yeah.
Someone had asked about the cost of PCM and checkup.
That one is PCA.
Oh, PCA.
Yeah.
Okay, PCA and the checkup.
Yeah, prostate-specific antigen. When you go to any clinic, it's between roughly 2,000 to 3,000. Yes.
So that's the checkup that one should get when they want to know how their prostate is, or the health of their prostate.
Yes, but okay, with that one, they come with the different. PCA comes with the different ranging, or the numbers they range. For a 40-year-old person, it shouldn't be above 2. Yeah.
Okay.
So the numbers that you are given after you do your checkup, just go to a doctor who will translate for you very well.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, we have about 4 minutes remaining. Allow me to read some of this so that you can reply. This one is actually the gentleman that had asked about the pain with the testicles.
Yeah.
So they're saying, thank you for the reply. I have done several ultrasounds from different hospitals and results are always the same. I'm left to rely only on painkillers. I don't know how you can help the gentleman. If you allow me, okay. They want to actually read for us the results from different hospitals. I think we can connect you with this one so that you may assist them. I guess in Africa, the prostate is higher than Asia because African men engage more actively in sex. Well, you have already talked about that. You have demystified that. So maybe when we talk about prostate enlargement, what would you want people to get out of this conversation mainly?
Actually, men. Let's talk to men. Men, talk to your women.
Okay.
You see, like a woman, you'll definitely notice if something wrong if there's something wrong with your man. And women and men, let's stop hiding. Let's come out and talk about it. Let's go for checkup. It really, really helps. And it's okay. Actually, what we are having right now is for education purpose, not to instill fear to anyone.
Yes.
Yes. You see, majorly, many men, they fear going for checkups. They think like if you go there, there's something positive that will come out. No, not generally.
Say what you don't know won't hurt you.
Yeah,
Right.
but the best thing, I'd rather go for the checkup. If it is detected earlier, the better, because you will have the treatment. But when you see like cancer, when it's detected with stage 1, stage 2, you can get the treatment. But when it's past stage 3, you can only manage it. Yes. So men, let's come out, let's go for checkup, and we shall have the cure for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About the lifestyle changes maybe that can assist in reducing some of these symptoms. Do we have any lifestyle changes that can help with that?
Talking about lifestyle changes, the best thing we can do is just the checkups. That one is the best thing we can do about it. Yes.
Yeah. So exercising has no relation with that. If I exercise more, am I reducing my chances of getting either of these two? You know, if I check on what I eat, as we had talked about earlier, do they bring about any kind of change?
I wouldn't tell you that exercising or eating specific foods will help in reducing the enlargement or the cancer, because you see, like, cancer is the leading deaths in men.
Yeah.
So there is no specific food I will tell you to go and do and start eating this so that you can do what? You can manage it or you can do away with it. But the best thing is just regular checkups. That is the best thing. That is the best advice I can give you. Regular checkups.
That's the best advice, and I agree with you. Okay, as we finalize, maybe there are those who would love to find you maybe after this. Do you have a page that they can come to?
Yes, I have a page. You can check on TikTok. It's Almangechu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Almangechu on TikTok.
Almangechu on TikTok.
Okay, because there's so many questions. I'm sure that if you go to that page, then you can find the doctor and you guys can converse. So thank you so very much for joining us for this conversation. It's a pleasure.
Thank you very
having you.
Thank you very much for hosting me, and I'm really grateful for.
All right, you're welcome. And this is where we put a cap to today's health segment, as well as Good Morning Kenya all together. Thank you so very much to each and every one of you who have been part and parcel of this conversation. We'll get to say goodbye. We'll see you tomorrow, same time and place with my colleagues, God willing. Goodbye. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing.